Hello, welcome to week 3 of Pandora. And man, I can already tell it's going to be an amazing night, starting off with what could be the most eventful tribal council ever. And that's not solely because there's a drag. There's actually a lot of stuff going on. And Justin, if you would be so kind to give us a small wrap up of the advantages and disadvantages that's going on right now coming into this tribal.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the easiest thing to start with is the disadvantages. There's really only 2 out there, and that is that in Tree Mail this weekend, Michael found a Pandora opportunity. He went into Pandora. He was able to either bring his loved one with him or give the opportunity to one other person, and he chose to bring Brandon with him. So the 2 of them had an opportunity to engage in Pandora. They each picked a box, and they both lost their votes. And so as Pandora has been encountered and things get taken, it's usually replaced by a disadvantage. And so there are become less and less advantages and more disadvantages. And so they both lost their vote, which means there'll be 2 less votes at Tribal Council for this first one, which, as you just mentioned, Will, is pretty important because of the drag. So it's been really interesting listening to Michael and kind of how he's approaching this part of the game and kind of how he plans to kind of play off this vote situation. So that's kind of the easiest thing to cover. And sorry if you hear my dog attacking his lamb chop right now. So that's the disadvantage side of the house. On the advantage side of the house, we have a lot going on. Number one, we have 4 idols in the game. Amanda found one via Pandora's box. Jessica found one way back in the first week by doing the water well puzzle. So it was whoever finished that puzzle first, kind of while they were finding water, also found the idol. And then Leanne found one recently in a tree mail. And then in the last 24 hours, there's been a lot of action around this tribal council and this drag. And strangely enough, Naomi has decided to give Leanne her idol that she earned earlier in the game. So Leanne now sits with 2 idols, which I think is going to play a big factor in this first tribal council. I think in exchange for that idol, Trey gave Naomi his steal a vote advantage. So Naomi does have an opportunity up through the final 5 to steal someone's vote and vote twice. So we'll see how that kind of factors into the game. And maybe that seems, as we kind of think about why she might do that, maybe that's a more stealthy advantage for her to kind of stay under the radar, whereas an idol play might be a little more flashy and maybe push her out as a threat. Josh has a block a vote advantage. It doesn't allow him to vote twice, but it does allow him to block another player's vote at a tribal council. And Rachel has a block the drag advantage. So if she is not happy with who gets dragged this first round, then she can privately message me and block that drag and force the person to pick someone else. So it does keep her, if it's not her, it does keep her vulnerable. So let's say the person voted out tries to drag Caleb and she wants to block because it's her loved one. It does leave her open to be dragged next. So it's really kind of up to her how she wants to do that, and if she would use that power. Could cause a little bit of chaos. Again, it won't be announced that she's the one that does it. It's just that the drag has been blocked. So could be really interesting to see how that plays out. But another quick note, I mean, as you saw across the board there, a majority of the advantages and all of the idols this season have been found by our female identifying players, which is really amazing. Really, really proud of that, and excited to have such kind of gaming females in the group. And it's really, really interesting as you kind of look at the cast breakdown. You know, we have 7 returners and 6 newbies in the game now. So it's fairly even. And I don't think that's really going to play a factor in the game at all. Like, I don't think anyone's thinking across those lines at this point. If you look at, we'll kind of go through it as the episode starts, but there's a lot of different configurations of tribes at this point. And I don't think that's going to really play a factor. I think the most interesting dynamic right now, as we watch John make some dinner, is the fact that we have basically 12, we have 6 pairs of loved ones and then Naomi. So that's what's, I think, most interesting is everybody in the game has their loved one except for Naomi. So at some point, shots are going to get fired at different pairs, and people are going to be thinking about trying to break up these pairs. And I'm really interested to see kind of what the aftermath will be of that, and kind of who can make it through tonight with their loved one. Because I think if I were in this position, I would be trying to like break up pairs left and right, but do so in a way that doesn't put me and my pair in a vulnerable spot. So that's kind of the interesting thing, is our pair is going to try to pair up or group up to try to keep each other safe, or are they going to try to break up other pairs? I think it'll be really interesting to see how that all shakes out. Hi, John.
Hey.
What are you having for dinner, buddy? What are you making?
I already ate, but I was warming up some vegetables for tomorrow.
Oh,
nice.
That sounds so healthy and boring. All right.
On a diet.
I got to start.
Did I miss anything good?
So yeah, I think one of the most interesting things that we've been talking about before this was just the fact that now that Leanne has 2 idols, it's from what we've seen from the players, it's pretty obvious that the main targets is Leanne and Trey. Now Leanne has the ability to keep them both safe. And not only does that immediately mix things up, but then as we like go back to our advantages here, both Amanda and Jessica also have idols. Now, Amanda is safe in this tribal because she won the challenge, so she doesn't have to worry about playing an idol for herself. Some people have said that there is the possibility that maybe she'll play it for her loved one, Emma. We'll see that if she cares about her that much to play an idol for her in this situation where, honestly, from what I can tell, no one really thinks Emma is in danger. But once you have 2 people playing idols, 1 people safe, people without votes, you could get really scared here. And I'm looking at Jessica a lot as someone who could just be like feeling totally safe before everything, seeing idols being played left and right, knowing that there's crap going on, knowing that people are without votes. She then thinks, holy crap, I'm a winner. I could totally be one of the bounce back like votes. Like I should really just play it safe here. Like, is it worth keeping at this point? So we could see a huge idol flush in this round. And that would be insane.
I mean, there's no scenario, right, where Jess shouldn't play her idol at this point. She knows she's out there as a threat because she's a winner. It's going to be a crazy, chaotic tribal. So unless you're Trey Plutnicki from season 5 and you're in the midst of a crazy tribal and you just leave with an idol in your pocket, right? Like you're going to play your idol in a scenario like this where there's just idols flying everywhere and so much unpredictability in the vote. I mean, so a couple days ago, right, Trey was sending me videos about how he's like basically a dead man walking, like he has no hope. So somehow they've convinced Naomi to give them an idol. I mean, all signs are pointing to Leanne playing it for both of them.
For who, Trey and Leanne?
Yeah, so Leanne has 2 idols at this point. So
do they know that the idol would block the drag yet?
Yes, so that was clarified, but they do have to play it like a normal idol, so they'd have to play it before the votes are read. So they don't know who's going to be voted out before they play their idol. So in some scenarios, you might play a hidden immunity idol to keep yourself safe, and then someone gets voted out that wouldn't drag you, and you kind of waste your idol in that point. But better safe than sorry.
What was the reason for Naomi giving the idol to Leanne?
We have no idea. She doesn't really send me any confessionals or anything like that, so I don't really know. I think, I mean, it's one of those things, this is all speculation, is I think the 3 of them are working very closely together. Leanne's talked about how she kind of considers Naomi like her survivor daughter, and like they've gotten really close. And Naomi might be thinking, if I don't save these 2, I'm screwed. So let's, roll the dice here and try to save them both.
That makes sense.
And maybe that's a move she can claim later on to be like, hey, Trey and Leanne wouldn't be in this game without me. That's a potential option.
Yeah.
But it's going to be really interesting because I don't think anyone's going to see it coming. The fact that there's going to be 2 idols and both played kind of in that fashion. And that's only if Leanne does it, right? Leanne is sending videos, and I think that's what she's going to do. But at the end of the day, she could protect herself 2 times in a row. And, is she going to go for self-preservation and try to last as long as possible? Because I do think playing an idol for her and Trey at this point, it just makes her target even bigger, right? Like she's already such a loved character in the game. She's already kind of made a name for herself as a player this is just another thing on her resume that's going to just, that target just gets bigger. So we'll see. We'll see.
Awesome. Well, let's jump into some of these confessionals right here and see what some of the players have to say for themselves. We're gonna blitz through a bunch of them, and then we will talk for the remaining time about what we just saw and if that impacts our opinions going into this tribal.
Yeah. Before you guys do that, I'm gonna jump to get some stuff, a couple things ready. Okay. John, you're gonna be really excited. One of your big challenges is happening tonight. So we'll see how the players handle it. Yeah. So we'll see how they handle that. There'll be a couple twists and turns. And again, we have a pretty exciting finale to the night, so make sure you stick around. And we should be seeing Katie around 8 o'clock. Hopefully, Katie from this season. I'm going to pop on and give some intel on what she thinks. I think Megs might join at some point, Hannah and Trav, etc. So stand as long as you like. I'll obviously pop back on at the end of the night too, but don't feel like you got to stay all night. Thanks, cool.
Have fun.
Thanks, Justin. All right. Well, first up, we got Caleb.
Oh man, I honestly can't believe I've made it this far. I'm pretty bad at this. Pretty bad at challenges. I thought I could at least hang in. Yet again, week 2 showing me that I can't. I hope that I can learn before doing one of these again if I get that chance. And I need to practice some stuff or figure out something before next week, because now it's even more serious, apparently. So everything in our tribe in Anantia actually went as planned, other than Michelle. Our hope, and my hope, was Amanda, Emma, and Michelle. That was the hope. Jesse was willing to work with me, and I think he genuinely wanted to work with pretty much everyone other than Michelle. That was kind of his undoing. But, we're terrible again at challenges, so we're down more than we should have been. Yeah, that's where we're at. Hopefully I can survive another couple tribals.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck, my plan worked. I reeled in Michael and Brandon, and I have Jessica, obviously, and we were able to vote out Alan without him seeing it coming. I made sure that Michael and Brandon had a fake plan with Katie and Alan and made sure they were talking to them all week, make them feel good about voting out Jessica. She's won before, she's a threat, like she gotta go. Like, do it, So they're worried she has an idol. She doesn't have an idol. I have the block of vote. So that plan worked perfectly. But, you're never sure until tribal, but they proved themselves in tribal. And it's us 4 cousins riding strong. Final 4, baby. Just got to pull in some stragglers along the way, flip the script, and get the rest of these people out of here. That's the plan.
Nice. Sure.
Did he say?
Oh, wait, he's got a part 2.
Oh, we got another one.
So can we talk about the other people still left in the game and how I feel about them? I fucking love Rachel. Right off the bat, I said something about red wine and she did a little dance on her Zoom video, and I was like, that girl, I want to work with her. But unfortunately, we were not on the same tribe for the first time, and we didn't swap together either. And I did throw Caleb's name out there in round 1, but we won't talk about that. I like them, and I really want to work with them. I feel like they're tight with someone else. I can't figure out who it is. I don't know if it's Matt and Amanda. I feel like they're pulling the strings right now, and Amanda's safe, so no one's going to mess with her. I think a great strategy going into the merge is to get someone who's voted out to drag Emma with them, because no one's ever going to go after Emma because they're afraid. And I'm not putting her name out there, that's for sure. It's not coming from me. So we'll see what happens with that. I like Matt and Marcy. Me and Marcy both have a special bond, and our loved ones have both won the game before. So hopefully we can connect over that. Trey and Leanne, I have no idea where they stand. They haven't talked to me all game. Not that they could have. We'll see if they reach out. I really don't want to be fake with people, so if they don't reach out to me, I might not reach out to them. I'd be willing to work with them. I would be willing to work with anyone at this point just to get us through this merge and get far in the game. Also, I love Naomi. I want to work with her and see where the game takes us. See you later.
Does someone have something to say before we keep going?
You go, Jeff.
Oh, I was just gonna say, did he say in his first confessional that
No, that was
Jessica didn't have an idol? Or was he talking about Katie? We don't have to go back to it.
Right, hold on. There was something in the background.
Oh,
And
that's fine if not.
Okay, I'm sorry. What was your question again?
Did he say that he saying like, oh, they think Jess might have an idol and she doesn't, or was he talking about Katie before she left?
Oh,
Probably Katie, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, surely Jessica has told him at least that she has an idol, right? I guess we don't know that for sure, but
Yeah,
That's-
I think he did say Jessica doesn't have an idol.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So maybe she hasn't told him.
I don't know, but it didn't make sense because it said that he has a vote talker or something.
Right.
Hat. I like your hat. Yeah, I got it from Walmart today. Oh my god.
Hey, Travis.
Who was that?
That was the Zoom in the background. I forgot to mute it.
Wait, something I was going to mention was he was talking about going 4 strong, the final 4 with the 2 cousins. Okay, what happens in that scenario? Who's going to jump ship and take out one of their own?
I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting strategy to try to go to the Final Four with another pair.
They need to, yeah, no. That was my first reaction to that.
All right, let's see what Trey has to say.
All right, I'll make this quick. I think I'm going home. I think I'm going to get dragged. The drag is ridiculous. I think no matter who goes home, I'm getting dragged because I think people perceive my mom and I as threats, and I think they perceive me as a threat especially. So I feel like they're going to go for me. At this point, I'm just thinking of ways I can help my mom. So I'm just going to try to set up the game where I can help her succeed as best as possible. At the moment, I'm trying to vote for Rachel because Rachel is throwing out Jess's name, and Jess is considered one of those big threats. So if Jess goes, then it's just me. It's me and Matt as the ones to pick off, and I have a feeling Jess would drag me anyway. So then it's just Matt, and then that leaves my mom no real ally. So I'm just going to try to set this up as best as I can for her. I'm going to fight, and I want to get Rachel out because I think Rachel is something to threaten that, because she said my mom's name a bunch and my name a bunch, even when we were supposed to be tight, you know? So that's where I'm at. Hopefully this works. Hopefully Rachel goes home. If I am the vote, I want some crazy stuff. I want to do something kind of wacky and zany. So I'm excited. I'm excited for tribal council regardless. But that's where my head's at. I feel like I'm going on this first one anyway. So sayonara, baby.
What's up? Thought I'd do a quick confessional here before things get crazy tomorrow. We got a little over 24 hours before the next craziness begins. The drag, the vote, the clues, the powers. I have no idea. Anyway, as of now, I really think that it's going to be between Leanne, Trey, or Jessica as the actual vote. The drag, I don't know. I don't think Jess would drag me or Marcy, which is good, but I also see Jessica as a long-term ally. So really not excited about that prospect. Leanne and Trey, I'm fine with either of them going, but I am very worried that they would drag me or Marcy, probably me. So my grand plan that I'm working on delicately is to try and sway things towards ideally Trey, if not Leanne, as the actual vote, while at the same time kind of giving Trey and Leanne a little bit of heads up, kind of staying on their good side in case either they have an idol or some power to defend themselves, or if they do get voted out and they're dragging someone, I'd like to turn the attention to someone else, obviously, because I feel like if we can get through this, Marcy and I, then in the final 11, we've got a shot. So I kind of feel like Amanda and Caleb and Rachel and Emma are a really tight 4, and I think they're actually going to control the numbers on this vote. So I'm trying to kind of play that delicately to not get on their bad side right now, but also maybe kind of shift some of the suspicion on them in case the drag happens, to stay out of the crossfire. So I don't know. Honestly, it's going to be an interesting night. I would not be shocked at all if I went home on the drag. I'd be a little surprised if I got voted out or Marcy got voted out initially. We'll see.
Speaking of the devil, here she is.
So it is Monday night, one day before our third evening of Survivor, and there's a lot going on. A lot of conversations, lots of text messages all weekend. Should be interesting. It looks like right now Trey and Rachel are kind of battling it out against each other for the next vote. My strategy, kind of trying to stay out of the limelight a little, using my brother as a shield. He's a much bigger target than I am. Hope that works for me. I also have a secret alliance with Michael. I think Michael's a good person for me to align with because no one would suspect that Michael and I are talking to each other. We've never been on the same tribe. I haven't actually even told my brother about that Michael and I have been talking. So I'm hoping that works out for me to have someone in my corner that people would not suspect. But we'll see how it goes. Excited for tomorrow.
Okay, so I won Pandora. I got the tree mail riddle, and I was able to either take Brandon and myself to go to Pandora, or I could send somebody who is not Brandon or me to Pandora. I chose to go to Pandora with Brandon, and we were excited to hopefully get at least one advantage between us. So even if one of us got a disadvantage, we were pretty confident that at least one advantage walking out of Pandora's Island would really benefit us. So I pick number 15, bottom corner, thinking like, it's probably hidden in that little corner over there. Nobody's going to pick it. And it reveals a lose a vote. So I have lost my vote at the next tribal council. So now there's 12 votes at tribal council. Then Brandon picks the upper corner, number 5, and it reveals a lose a vote. So we have now both lost our vote. So we have 0 power in this coming tribal council, like goose egg. So I'm freaking out because there is no way that this vote isn't going to go crazy. Like the fact that people think that there's this unanimous vote on Leanne, I don't think is going to actually happen. So I'm really nervous that random votes are going to get thrown and I'm going to get caught in the crosshair. So I'm super nervous. I don't know where Brandon's head's at, but we both called it a night because I don't know where we want to go from here. We're super sketched out, and having no power at tribal council and how to play that is going to be really tough. I don't know if I should tell people that I've lost my vote, but we'll kind of play it from there and see what happens.
Sorry if I'm repeating. I literally don't know where I left off. But we got the votes for Trey last night. It was like all settled. I promise I'll look less like this later. Anyway, then today Amanda goes, I don't know, maybe we should go Leanne. I shut her down. I was like, Amanda, no, I'm not changing again for one. Like, if we change this last minute, people are going to panic and not trust us and get suspicious. Like, it is not worth it. Like, if the whole group wants to, fine. But I really, really think we should just let it sit. And this happened, I don't know if Caleb told you, but like, when he was on a tribe with her, he had to like, she changed plans so much. He had to just like keep calming her down. Keep like, oh my gosh. So whatever, we'll see what happens. Oh, also Naomi like randomly texted everyone wanting them to wear a hat, thinking that like we wouldn't know that that's probably like a way for her to get an advantage. I'm gonna forget mine.
What?
What?
Everybody wear a hat.
I don't even know what that's about.
Okay, so just got through exercising because during Pandemic Survivor, you still can eat. Exercise is important. I didn't have to catch any fish, though. All right, here's what I think is going to happen tonight. I have an idol. Naomi just gave me an idol to play on Trey, and we wanted it to work that way so Trey wasn't a target, and just in case they play an idol nullifier, then it wouldn't work, I think, but I don't know. Anyway, I think Trey is also going to give his advantage to Naomi so she has it for future use in case someone takes away an advantage on him later tonight. I think this is going to surprise a lot of people. I don't know what idol nullifiers might be out there. I don't know what advantages people have. I keep hearing it's Rachel's pushing me. I hear Rachel's pushing Jess. I hear Rachel's pushing Josh. Actually, Rachel seems to be pushing a lot. So I'm kind of hoping the vote goes Rachel's way today. I think it will if they are dumb enough to split their vote, like say between Trey and me. So let's just pray for no idol nullifiers, and we'll hope we see the light of day for the second tribal tonight.
Well then, there's. I love how even after watching all of that and seeing what everyone had to say, I still don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of leeway for what's about to go down, and I love it.
Yeah, it's what was interesting, and like I don't know when Trey's confessional was from, but he was talking about setting up Leanne for him, most likely going. But so I was wondering if that was at the point where Leanne had the second idol already. So it's like, would he tell Leanne to keep it, like just play one on herself and save it for the next round, or will she play both? I think that's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that. But I mean, I feel like he's also someone that wouldn't not that that's giving up, but I don't think he would give up like that. So I feel like, it would be more surprising if she didn't use them both on her and him.
Oh, man. I still want to see the situation where where 3 idols are played. I don't think we'll see 4, but I want to see this tribal with 3 idols played, and it's gonna be. I mean, no matter what, because what I think it was Michael who was saying, it's just without having those votes, it's already going to be more screwy than people can imagine. And then we also have an idol nullifier. It's going to be really interesting if
is there
that
one?
gets used. Yes.
Who
Yeah.
has one?
Oh, is that? Oh, I thought that was just speculation.
No. No, sorry, not an idol nullifier. The drag
Oh yeah.
Oh, the drag blocker. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, someone has an idol nullifier too? Oh my god.
Game. There will only be one winner. Only one person is walking away with that $200. So keep that in mind. and fight hard for it, right? I know you all have, or most of you have loved ones in the game, but just keep in mind it is an individual game. There'll only be one winner. As you know, immunity challenges and any sort of powers or advantages will be won and played by people individually. You can vote any remaining player out at Tribal Council.
So they're going over just the rules normally right now. So one last time, I'll show the advantages and disadvantages that are being played at the moment. Or not being played, that are out there at the moment. So this is what we're looking at going into this tribal.
Wow.
Insane.
Oh, it's going to be madness. I see a lot of hats out there, so...
I know, right?
I really want to know what that means.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Who knows? Who knows?
Once told me, make sure you're not screenshotting, no sharing of conversations. It's all reliant on you and your conversations and you telling kind of what's true and what's not true and people believing you. So please, no screenshots of any kind. Hold on one moment, please. Great. We're going to take a quick moment to just pay homage to our fallen comrades. These are the folks that have been voted out of the game either directly or indirectly by you, and they've helped you get to this point. And I have to say, just from a host perspective, this is a very different group than I was expecting. I don't really know what I was expecting, but there are some serious gamers that have been taken out of this game already. So you should all be very proud of yourselves because you made it this far, and you've certainly trimmed out some of the big competition. So congratulations once again on making the merge. So this is our merge tribe. And it's really interesting as I was kind of analyzing this group, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can break it down. If you look at kind of the original tribes, we have 6 Ama and 7 Nero at this point. And then if you look at the mixed swap tribes, we have 6 Ama, 3 Anantia, and 4 Nero. So who knows if those tribal lines, either of them will, or any of them will come into play. We also have 7 returnees and 6 new players to Pandora, which is really interesting, a pretty tight race there. We have 7 female identifying players and 6 males, so way to go, ladies. So it's a really interesting, there's a lot of different ways that this could break down, right? We have no idea what bonds and what relationships and what qualities are going to really make up the group that moves forward in this game. So there's a lot of different ways it can play out. We also have 6 pairs of loved ones, and Naomi. Sorry, Naomi. But obviously it's another factor to look at, right? And that's, I think, a really interesting dynamic as we go into this phase of the game. And I never would have expected we would have had this many pairs at this point in the game. So it's really interesting to see how that's going to play out. And with that, as you all know, the first thing that we're going to do is head to Tribal Council based on the last immunity challenge. So we are going to kick things off with the Tribal Council. I'm going to just pop around. I'll ask some questions. I probably won't get to everybody because we do want to move the day along, but I'll start with Amanda. Amanda, you won immunity, so you are safe this round. You are safe from both being voted out and from being dragged, so it's a big, big safety for you. Did you feel like it was necessary for you to win that first one, or is it kind of a nice to have?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say it was necessary, but it's always nice to have immunity because with the drag, it's so unpredictable because you don't know who's going to drag who. That makes sense. So it kind of has just been like just a peace of mind knowing, okay, like I'm safe. You know, I don't need to worry too much. I only have to worry about other people. I don't have to worry about myself, which is a good thing to have.
Great, Matt. So for the times that you've played, you've experienced the drag before. You know what kind of how the drag all works. Do you think that's an advantage or is it a disadvantage because you've seen the horror that it wreaks to the game?
Disadvantage. It's traumatic. I felt terrible for the person it happened to last time I played. I mean, it's just a tough part of this game, right? Like there's a lot of all the strategy and then there's luck, right? Is like who, you know, they might have a reason, they might not. It might be random. It might be strategic. I mean, who knows? But, you know, I just don't know that you can predict someone's feelings in advance. So it's definitely scary.
Yeah. And just so everyone knows, Matt was actually part of a season where we had 2 drags, an early game drag and kind of an early merge drag. And the same woman got voted out because she was dragged out, fought her way back into the game, kind of edge of extinction style, and then dragged out of the game again. So it was pretty vicious and brutal, which was pretty exciting for a host like me anyway. Probably not for her, but it was fun. Cool. I will pop over. We'll go to Rachel next. Rachel, you've been at the merge before, so you kind of have probably familiar feelings of this sense of this kind of first merge vote. How heavy does like what you've experienced in the past weigh on this vote for you, and kind of as you approach this pivotal kind of first merge vote?
I don't know. I'm very nervous. So I think last time I played, it was very different in that it was a unified vote for the first vote after the merge, from what I remember. And so I'm not sure that tonight is going to be as unified.
Gotcha. Trey, coming over to you, you also had a very interesting first merge vote in the first time that you played. Anything you learned from that experience that you brought to this game?
Yeah, I've learned that merge tribals are dumb and you should just get voted out before that. This is crazy. The drag just adds another layer of duplicity in the game. My first season, it was the people with the 2 highest numbers of votes going home. So that's nuts. And I feel like the drag has that same sort of chaotic energy in it. I will say, since you announced this on Wednesday, I've been like, I'm getting dragged, period, straight up. I think my name has been out there enough, whether or not I'm on a tribe. My mom's name has been out there sort of in conjunction with mine as a threat. So I'm worried about that. What I will say is if I do have the privilege to get voted out today, I think what I've decided to do is I'm going to spend that 5 minutes to take a deep breath and then put everyone's name in a hat and just draw a name. So I want to go to rocks if I get voted out, and I think that would be really fun. And I think maybe that might strike the fear of God in some people.
So that's interesting. I'll go over to Mike next. So Mike, what Trey just said is interesting. And do you think, has there been a lot of people kind of using the drag as a strategic, I don't want to say threat, but basically saying, hey, if you vote me out, I'm going to drag you. And so has there been much of that kind of talk? Because for those of you who have seen Sequester, right, like that's the big thing. Everyone's like, don't drag me or I'll take you with me, right? Or don't vote me out, I'll take you with me. And that kind of a lot of time evolves the strategy of that round. So has there been kind of any of those, I don't want to say threats because we're not threatening each other, but you know what I mean?
I think, well, first of all, I wouldn't necessarily use the word interesting for what Trey said. I think scary as hell would be a better descriptor. But I think, like, just in general, I think people are just trying to. It sounds like people are taking the drag into effect on this vote, but I think it's more or less. I haven't been threatened. I haven't heard anybody being threatened. That's the normal sequester strategy. That is not what I've seen in this round, at least from my perspective. So I'm actually more nervous that way because there haven't been any threats. So that means the drag is kind of up in the air, and that's even scarier.
Cool. I will go to Marcy next. Marcy, as you think about who you're voting for this round, does it come down to threats? Does it come down to relationships? What's kind of the factors for you as you think about, your progression in the game and your ability to succeed? How does that play on your voting strategy?
It definitely comes down to both of the things you just said. Definitely threats, but I want to keep my relationships strong as well. So I kind of take my relationships as paramount, and then of the people left, then I'll go for the threat.
Naomi, I've already mentioned it, and I won't harp on it too much, but you are the one player without a loved one in the game at this point. Do you feel like that makes you a valuable asset in that you can often be a swing vote and you don't really have that blood person that you have to keep safe, so you can play a little bit more freely? Or is it kind of you stand out as kind of the non-loved one? Where does it kind of sit for you?
I think definitely both, as evidenced by the fact that I'm the only person by myself. I think single people are a big target, but I also hope that I can kind of use my singleness to help out other people.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I will, moving forward, I will always leave a couple of moments for any sort of open live tribal discussion. If there's anything anybody wants to say live to this group, now would be the time to do that. I also just want to remind you how this is going to work. So everyone will vote. I will then ask if anybody has a hidden immunity idol. If you would like to play an idol that would keep you safe from the vote as well as from the drag. So we will vote, then any sort of idols, if they're already out there that want to be played, you'd play them then. It keeps you safe if you're voted out. It also keeps you safe from being dragged. The person will be voted out. They will have you all have 5 minutes to strategize with that person, to talk to them as much as you want, talk to each other. That person will then, after about 5 minutes, come on and they will say who they would like to drag. And that's how that works. Are there any questions about that process before we get to the vote? Great. I'll also leave the floor open for a moment or two if there's anything anyone would like to say live to everyone here at Tribal. Probably not. It doesn't very often happen. Every once in a while. Maybe it'll get crazy down the road. We'll see. All right. So that being said, it is time to vote.
Wait. I would like to say, my hat, those are 8s. Those aren't Bs. So if you think it...
It says O boob, guys. It says O boob.
No, it doesn't. They're 8s.
I was reading it as Boobo, but
either way.
It's a zip code.
All right. With that, it is time to vote. Please privately message me on Facebook, as you have been throughout the game, the name of the person that you would like to vote out. And I will be back with the votes. Sorry, there's one thing that I forgot to mention. Pandora's box has been opened, and there will be 2 less votes in the count than you may be expecting. So 2 people will not be voting. So it will be only 11 votes in this count, not 13. Please send me your votes as soon as possible.
I'm so gassy right now, y'all. I'm burping up a storm. It's insane.
That's the nerves, man. It's the nerves, man.
I know. I'm so nervous.
I hope we don't need the corners to the cards because I have like an old casino deck. This is bad. Hey, Brandon. You're not going to the theater later, are you?
I sure might be. I got my lady here, so I might take her on a date after this, especially if I get dragged out. So we'll have an early night,
Don't do it.
I don't know. We'll wear masks and stuff. So I don't know.
Well, don't wear that hat.
Yeah.
Oh, don't wear the hat.
Don't sit in the box seats.
You think I'm not rocking this top hat, guys?
You are rocking it. You look just like Abe Lincoln.
Oh, no. And I'm definitely not going to the theater. This might be my assassination moment right now. Let's vote.
I hope not.
All right. Once the votes are read, person will be asked to leave the Zoom and the game immediately. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Justin?
Yes.
I would like to play one.
Okay.
I'll play it on me.
All right.
Let's go.
So would like to play another one. And I will play it on Trey.
Two hidden immunity idols. So any votes cast for Leanne or for Trey will not count.
Oh my God.
Anybody else?
Hear me?
Oh, sorry.
I would also like to play an idol for myself.
All right. Jessica does have a hidden immunity idol. Any votes for Jessica will not count. Anybody else before I keep going? All right. Nobody else, right? Just double checking. All right. So any votes for Trey, Leanne, or Jessica will not count. Now I have to get back. All right. First vote. Trey. Oh no, you're not going to be able to see with my background. Okay, I'll do that. Trey. Does not count. Next vote. Oh, Trey, this is going to suck. I'm going to turn off my background because that's just going to be miserable. Hold, please. That's 2 votes for Trey. Neither of them count. Next vote. Trey. Does not count. Next vote. Trey. Does not count. 4 votes for Trey. None of them count. Next vote. Jessica. Does not count. Next vote. Jessica. Does not count. No votes as of right now. That's 6 votes. None of them count so far. Next vote. Rachel. Next vote. Caleb. 1 vote Rachel, 1 vote Caleb. Next vote. Rachel. Next vote. Caleb. 2 votes Caleb, 2 votes Rachel, 1 vote left. The first member out after the merge is Rachel. Rachel, I'm sorry. The tribe has spoken. Don't go anywhere. You will have now 5 minutes to chat as much as you'd like. Feel free to chat with Rachel, or Rachel could just say, F you guys, I'm not talking to any of you, and make her decision, but I'll be back in 5 minutes for that decision, Rachel. But I'll give you guys a few moments to strategize. You can just keep a reminder, you cannot drag Jessica, Leanne, or Trey because they've used idols. But everybody else is fair game. So I'll give you guys a few minutes. Feel free to, you can talk openly or you can talk privately, but I'm going to turn off for now. And we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Wow.
I was like waiting. I was like, are they going to talk openly or are they going to do it Man.
Right.
Oh my god, Leanne with the double idol play.
That was huge.
Legendary.
Katie, it's nice to meet
Hi,
you.
everyone.
Hi, Katie.
Oh my god, I'm so happy / not happy to be here because I wish I was still in the game, but happy.
Katie, I'm a big fan of yours. Your last tribal council was like crazy.
Oh my god, thank
Yeah.
you. I'm so. How did those cousins split votes? Like, what are they thinking? Why would they do that?
Wait, that was like I was shook.
Yeah.
I was shook when I had more votes than I thought. Who do we think is getting dragged?
Okay, my immediate thought is Naomi, but then I don't know if that really makes sense because
Rachel.
I feel like she's gonna drag Matt, right?
Could be Matt, but then like.
But also, 5 people voted for Rachel and Caleb, so
They need to figure out who voted Caleb. If she
Yeah.
wants Caleb to win, she has to figure out who voted Caleb. I have no
Right.
clue.
Well, we know it wasn't Mike and Brandon because they didn't have votes.
Oh, how do we know that theirs was taken? We know that.
Yeah, it was revealed earlier.
Who took their votes? How did that happen?
They went to Pandora and both chose different numbers, and they each lost their
I
vote.
wish they didn't have votes last vote. Damn.
That definitely would have
Who
helped.
voted them?
Well, Leanne played the idol for herself, but she didn't get any votes, right?
No.
No, yeah, it was all
So,
Trey.
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to take offense there, but it should be interesting.
No,
to
she
see.
didn't get any votes. It's still not wasted when there's a drag around because she could have been a target for the drag.
Right.
But I wasn't wasted. It's still a drag round.
I forgot about that.
Smart.
Well, and Jessica got voted too, so she's
Yeah. I bet Matt really wishes he had an idol right now.
I think he's probably.
I think that he might get dragged
Yeah.
because I think that Jess got votes because she was one, so people think of her as a threat. I think that probably people have the same feelings about Matt, and somehow he's protected himself, but now he's not going to be protected. I don't know.
Yeah.
God. Well, I feel like Trey and Lincoln just put a bigger target on their back, so I think they needed to play it, but at the same time,
It's a steep climb now.
yeah. Plus, they have Naomi, right? That's 3.
You think Naomi's working with Trey and Leanne?
Yeah.
Yeah, Naomi gave her idol to Leanne.
Oh, wow.
Naomi had an idol, yeah.
Wait, how do you guys know all this?
Justin told us earlier.
Oh, I'm like, who the hell is- Naomi gave her idol to Leanne. That's amazing. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, so Leanne and Naomi are super, super tight.
Which is interesting because the first round, Naomi and I were super tight, and she was trying to get me to vote Leanne out, and then
Really?
I told Leanne to play. I didn't know she had an idol, but I said, "Yeah, you're getting votes if you have an idol."
A rare mid-game appearance.
Who were the votes?
Yeah, can you tell
Oh
us?
my God, it's such a mess. All right, so Amanda, Emma, Matt, and Marcy voted Trey.
Okay.
Caleb and Rachel voted Jess. Jessica and Josh voted Caleb, and then Leanne, Naomi, and Trey voted Rachel.
Wait. Say the last one again.
They need to vote Josh.
Leanne, Trey, and
Drag
Naomi
Josh.
voted
Oh
Rachel.
man.
So the smartest thing for her to do would be to drag Josh, because you can't drag Jessica because she has an idol. She needs to drag Josh. That Caleb to protect Caleb.
I'd be pumped about a Josh drag.
Me too. Drag Josh. Drag Josh.
Any other opinions on who it is?
I think Matt.
Possibly Matt.
Oh, I hope it's Josh.
Matt's also a good one too.
But yeah, whatever, she's got to do whatever is best to
For Caleb.
let Caleb. So, oh man.
So it'd be Josh if they knew that, but hopefully I don't know if they know that.
Right.
Question, Justin, because you didn't say it. Is Amanda safe from a drag, or is she vulnerable?
She is.
How? What does she have?
She has immunity. She won immunity for
Oh.
first immunity challenge. Yeah. I should tell Rachel that too. I'll just do that right now.
Trey was really going with some chaotic energy, saying that he was going to put all the names in a hat.
That would have been crazy. I kind of wanted to see that happen, but
All right, I have to go back now, but I just wanted to see what y'all thought. So Katie thinks it's Josh.
I mean, I hope it's Josh.
I think
it's
it might be Josh too.
I'm also going to say Josh because I want to see Matt continue in the game. I think this would be a really crummy way for him to go out. I mean, it's a really crummy way for anyone to go out, but at least Josh voted for.
Right.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything to make Jessica weaker, I'm all aboard about.
Exactly.
All right. Oh, and you already knew that Brandon and Mike couldn't vote. Yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned
All
that.
right. See ya.
Thanks,
Bye.
Justin.
This is crazy.
So, guys, if we ever get cast together, we'll just be in an alliance together. This is our alliance.
Oh, 1,000%.
Perfect.
I'm telling.
I don't know about
5 minutes are up.
Oh, here we go.
Mute. And you might already be unmuted. And announce your drag decision. You can give reasoning if you want or not, or you can just say the name.
All right.
You might be muted, maybe.
I'm not muted, right? I'm good.
I don't know. I don't hear you. I don't hear it.
I can hear her.
Oh.
She was good.
I could hear. Can you hear me now? Yes.
Well, this is awkward. There you go. Are you unmuted? Say something.
All right. So I know.
Still, I don't hear you. Do you guys hear her? You do, but I can't. Oh, you know why? My headphones are in the wrong machine. Okay, hold on. All right. How about
This isn't dramatic enough, Justin.
Rachel? Rachel, say something.
Yes.
I can't hear it.
I don't think she.
What's
can you hear
happening?
any of us?
Oh no.
I can hear all of you.
I don't think he can hear
Can
any
you
of
hear
us.
Rachel?
No.
This is the perfect time for
Rachel?
mutiny, y'all.
Yeah, isn't it?
Hey, I'm still talking.
Oh God.
This is the stuff he's living for, and he can't hear it.
4. I knew I shouldn't have changed my. Let's try this. Oh. Rachel?
Yes.
There you are. Hooray. Figured it out. All right. Rachel,
Yes.
who will you be dragging out of the game with you?
Well, so I know that Josh voted Caleb,
Yeah, I threw my vote. I wasn't going to vote for you, Rachel.
and I know Jess must have voted me, but she
No, she was with me. We threw our votes.
anyway, right?
What?
Jess is safe anyway, right? Because she played an idol.
Yeah. Yep.
So she didn't vote for me.
No, her and I threw our votes in case there was some crazy. Everyone had votes. Like we didn't want our names out there anywhere. So
Yeah.
I was like,
So that was
Just-
two. So that's 2 on Caleb, right? And there were 2 votes on Caleb played. So that would leave Trey and Leanne on me, which bravo, good play to both of you, especially Leanne. I thought Leanne would have 1 idol. I did not know she would have 2.
Sorry, Rachel.
No, it's okay. I told Justin earlier it broke my heart lying to you. So I figured hopefully it broke your heart lying to me too.
Same, absolutely the same. That's why we want Caleb in too. Wanting to stay.
Okay, so we have 2 on Caleb. So that leaves Naomi must have voted. How many votes do I have on me, Justin?
3.
3. So that would leave, I only had 3. So then that would leave those 3. I don't see Naomi as a threat. I do see Matt as a threat.
I voted to
I
save you.
know. I just did the math, right? Yeah, I just did it. So
No,
like,
I did everything to save you and Caleb and everything I've ever
you
said
just
I was going
wasn't
to do.
enough. So the thing is, Matt, you are, if
there obviously are 3 people safe that I could have voted for. So I have to protect my husband.
But I'm helping your husband, so you're getting rid of an ally. Brandon and Michael voted some way. I mean,
I will be honest, I did not have a vote. And
I know that.
well, however it was, I voted with you. I did everything you asked me to do, and I'm an ally for Caleb going forward.
So throwing us under the bus, Matt, was probably not a good.
Yeah, that's not the best. Like,
I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. I'm just telling you,
I will say Matt told me my name was out there, and I knew by that point I was done because I didn't have protection. I knew there was likely Jess had protection, and I knew Leanne had protection most likely, and I even thought Trey. So once my name was out there, I knew it. I still think you're the biggest threat, Matt. You are so good at this game. You have everyone around your finger. You have everyone feeling like they're good with you. I've seen it happen. Like, I've already had conversations all week that like I would want you gone as soon as possible. So I have to do it. You know, if I didn't go home, we wouldn't be in this position. But that's my.
I did everything I could to save you. You're keeping people who voted against you.
I can't get rid of Trey, and I can't get rid of Leanne.
But Naomi voted against you. Literally, she voted to get you out of the game.
In this game, she has no social connections. She's going to be saved for an easy vote, or they're going to take her as a goat. She has no idea what she's doing.
Right, but I'm a target that someone's going to go after.
So, right, Rachel, I do need a final decision.
Justin, that is my final decision.
All right, I'm sorry, Matt.
All right, good game, guys.
Play, guys. All the best.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
It's Rachel.
Bye, Rachel. Bye, Matt.
Bye. Good luck.
Can we react to that?
Hey, after that whirlwind, I figure we need about 5-minute strategy break. So feel free to use use the restroom, do some chatting, whatever you need to do. You got about 5 minutes, and we will get to our next immunity challenge.
Rachel's a boss, dude.
Wow. She was calling everyone out.
Really?
I want Naomi to win now.
I do too. I really like Naomi.
I mean, like, if you call someone out being a goat like that, that's just, I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
that was
she's gonna
interesting.
chip on her shoulder now and prove them all wrong.
Wow.
That was crazy.
I was so, oh my god.
I think she just made a mistake. I think she should have gone Josh. Josh voted Caleb, and she did the math out.
Yep.
Right.
Math's possible, but he was going to be gone pretty soon because he's a threat.
Exactly.
I think that was the wrong move.
I mean, I feel like she had all the information there. She was saying, you know,
Why go through who voted for you and then not use that information to make your decision?
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Wow. I can't even form thoughts. This is crazy.
I'm also, I misread her completely. I was never really close with her, but I'm shocked that that was just how she said things and what she said. I didn't think that was part of her game.
Yeah.
Her personality.
Yeah, I am too, actually, because we played with her last season, and
she did not.
Yeah, I was like, who's talking right now? Who is this Rachel?
Yeah.
But I mean, oh man.
I'm kind of shook.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it's like, I mean, we were talking about Matt being the possible drag, but it's just like, if you have the opportunity, here's the thing, right? With a drag, you have the unique opportunity for you, single-handedly, no questions asked, take out anyone in the game, minus the people who are immune. And it's like, you choose to take out Matt, who everyone like is looking out for. Everyone knows he's the threat. He's a past winner. Everyone's like watching him hardcore. And then she said herself that Naomi is either doesn't know what she's doing or she's a goat and she's going to be brought to the end. It's like, well, take out the goat then, you know? Like, and to Matt's point when he was saying, you know, it's like, hey, you know, I was working with you guys. Why are you taking out a potential ally? And threat or not, I mean, an ally is an ally, you know? And if anything, having meat shields is a great thing. If Matt's still around, then you can always point to Matt being, hey, he needs to go out before me. But
yeah, I think it was a mistake. I agree. So Matt voted with them.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
Yeah.
Right.
I think she just wanted to be known for a big move. Technically, that was a huge move, but it just wasn't a move that made sense for her.
Right. Like on paper, yeah,
Right.
it makes sense. And yeah, on
Right.
paper, it's a big move. But it's like the way that this game is going, I don't think it's going to play out
Right.
like it is on paper at the moment.
Right. And if she wanted to initially drag Trey and he was safe, then with Naomi being kind of their third, why not just take her out to weaken them? So it's just, yeah,
Yeah.
that was wild.
Yep.
I wonder what the fallout of that's going to be. Like, where do the alliances lie now, and how is Caleb going to get
Yeah.
himself out of this?
Mm-hmm.
I
She
think
left people in it.
Trey and Leanne are probably the biggest targets right now, though. Maybe Jessica too.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Trey, Leanne, and Naomi.
Me too. I am team
Yeah.
Trey, Naomi, and Leanne all the way. Final
Those are the
three.
three I want to see at the end. I would love that final three.
Final three. honestly.
I knew it would take everybody a little bit of time to come back. So
They're gonna have an uphill battle because they're gonna have
Right.
the biggest target on their
you'll want to grab your deck of playing cards.
Oh, sheesh.
If you don't have that near you, make sure you grab it. You'll also need like a little bit of like a surface in front of you, and be able to kind of tip your camera angle so I can see that surface.
Is the floor fine if I don't have a surface?
Yep, the floor is fine. As long as you can angle your camera that way so I can see it. Don't have to angle your cameras there yet, but just
What did you say, Justin?
You want to grab your deck of playing cards, and you will need like a playing surface. What Marcy's doing right now is perfect. So you'll need a surface kind of like that, with your camera angled so that I can see the playing surface. So if everyone wants, yeah, Caleb's looks good. Leanne looks good. Amanda, can you back your camera up at all a little bit so I can see more of the space? It's not too bad. A little more would be good. Josh looks good. Mike looks good. Jess, I think that's good.
Downside is I can't see the screen very much. Will I need to be looking at the screen during this challenge?
You won't be once you're kind of set. Then just pop your camera back up so you can see the
Like
screen
this?
for a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody can pop their. I just want to make sure everyone looks good before I.
Justin, do we need the jokers in there?
You will not.
Okay.
We'll talk about that though. All right. Everybody can just angle their cameras back up so you can see the screen and see the rules in the slide. Great. Jess, Trey, can you guys angle yourselves back up now so you can see so I can see your faces? Josh, can I see your face? No. You can angle it up for a few minutes. We'll put it back down once the challenge starts.
It's hard for me to angle like back and forth.
Oh, is it? Sorry, Jess.
I can see my screen just fine, Justin.
Okay. All right. As long as you can see your screen, that's perfect, Jess. That's great. All right. So this is called the Need for Speed. Here's how it's going to work. You grab your deck of playing cards. You're going to be broken into two groups. There'll be one group of 6 and one group of 5. The group of 6 will go first. You'll need to have a table space and angle the camera. We just talked about that so I can see your playing area clearly. You're going to shuffle the cards at least 3 times. I know some people aren't good shufflers, but even just like something like this is good. And then just show me that they are all randomized and you don't have them in any specific order. That's fine. You don't have to do it right now. I will check in when we start the challenge, but you will have to do that. You're then going to place one hand behind your back. Sorry, you'll spread your cards out on that playing surface in front of you. So it'll be kind of in a nice big pile. You're going to put one hand behind your back. And your hand does have to stay there the entire challenge. So please make sure it stays behind your back. I'm then going to ask you to find a specific card. So for example, the 4 of spades. Using one hand and one hand only, you're going to flip cards over one at a time to try and find that card. Okay, so using one hand and one hand only, you flip cards over one at a time to find the card. Once you find it, you're going to hold it up to the camera like this so I can see it. Oh, don't have a virtual background, so I can see it. And keep it there until the round is over. So hold it up and keep it there until I say to take it down. So the last person to show the card that I've asked for will be eliminated for that round. All right. So you don't want to be last. It's kind of musical chair style. You don't want to be last. We're going to repeat this, and you'll shuffle the cards each time. So after each round, you're going to combine your cards again, mix them back up, show me that they're random, spread them out, and we'll go to the next card. Okay. And then, so the last person standing will win heat 1. They will win immunity. You'll also then pick one person from your heat to compete again in the second heat with a group of 5. So you'll give somebody the opportunity a second chance to win immunity. And so we'll run the challenge again, and we'll repeat the same exact thing for heat 2. And the last player standing will also win immunity. So there will be 2 people that will be immune at the end of this challenge. So there'll be 2 folks immune at the end of this challenge, 1 from each heat. If you win the first heat, you get to pick someone from your heat to compete again in the second heat. Amanda, do you have a question?
So do you have to go? So for example, is it like everyone flip 1, everyone flip 2, or are you?
You're going as fast as you can, one at a time. Make sure you're only flipping one card at a time to find that card. I'd recommend, Marcy, like what you guys want to do, you want to spread them out into like a nice big pile on your desk versus having them all in a stack. If you want to do it in a stack, if that's more organized, feel free. But I would spread them out into like a big piley mess so that you can flip easier. But it's up to you how you want to do it. All right. Man, do you have another question?
I know it's like a dumb question, but I'm not always familiar with all of how they look like. So like, for example, like I know hearts, clovers. This is a spade, right? Okay, never mind. I figured. I got it. I'll play cards.
Okay, cool. Great. So we're going to decide who the 2. Yes.
So you said they're going to be teams?
It's not really teams. They're going to be 2 groups, and you're competing against each other.
Oh, okay. And so those people from the groups, is everyone going to be looking for the same card at the same time?
Yep. Same card at the same time. The last person to show the card is out.
Or are you going to like go like choose people?
And Emma, just so you know, you're on a little bit of a delay. So I don't know if there's anything that you can do to fix that, but it might impact your challenge.
Emma, come on this side of the house. It's like your internet's bad.
I'll give you a minute to get set up.
Sorry, I'll be a second. My Wi-Fi up here is really bad.
Yeah, it's bad over there.
All right, so while Emma's getting set up, I'll pull the people for the heat. So all your names are in the bag. So if you're in the first heat, leave your camera on. If you're not, you can turn your cameras off just so I can focus on the people. So the first heat will be Caleb. Oh God, I should really not have a background on. It's really annoying. Amanda. Ooh. Brandon. Trey. Caleb, Brandon, Amanda, Trey, 2 more. Leanne. And Marcy. So Brandon, Amanda, Trey, Caleb, Leanne, and Marcy, you'll be in the first heat. If you're in the other heat, feel free to turn off your cameras for now so I can focus on the folks who are in. So Emma, you can turn off your camera for now. And I'm going to turn off my camera. Naomi, you can turn off your camera. Perfect. So I've got Amanda, Leanne, Marcy, Trey, Brandon, and Caleb. Perfect. So yeah, so Caleb, you look good to go. Trey, you look good to go. You guys can spread these out as much as you'd like. Yep, Brandon looks good to go. Leanne, you look good to go.
How do I spread it like?
Yeah, Amanda, can you see what other people are doing? I would just spread them out kind of nice and big.
Okay. It doesn't need to be in like a straight line.
Nope, nice and big and messy. Whatever gets you access to the cards. Marcy, I just need to be able to see. I guess I can see. So yeah, I can see all right. So remember, after each round, we are going to mix up the cards again, so I know that they are in random order. All right. So no cheating. And keep in mind, when you find the card, you need to hold it up to the camera and keep it there until I say to take it down. All right.
Justin.
Yes.
Justin, are you going to say the card as opposed to show up, because it's hard to see when the things?
I'm going to say the card out loud. Yes.
Okay, great.
All right. Any other questions? So you're going to hold the card up with the suit and number facing me so that I can see it, and keep it held there, and I'll let you know if you've been eliminated. All right? Okay, so the first card you are looking for. Survivor's ready. Great, Survivor's ready. First card you're looking for is, make sure you keep one hand behind your back, please. One hand behind your back. You can only use one hand to flip, and make sure you're only flipping one card at a time. If you accidentally flip over two at a time as you grab, that's okay, but no intentionally doing that, one card at a time.
Are you going to say go, Justin, or are you just...
I will.
Okay.
Yes. So the first card you're looking for is the 7 of diamonds. Go. 7 of diamonds. 7 of diamonds. One card at a time. One card at a time, Trey. Make sure. Yep. Leanne is in. Make sure you're doing one card at a time. Leanne, keep that held up for me just so I see. Caleb is in. Trey is in.
Oh, no.
Brandon's in. Down to Marcy or Amanda.
Not good for me right now. I've already found it. I just
7
don't-
of diamonds. And Marcy is in. Amanda, you have been eliminated from the challenge. You can turn off your camera, please. All right, I need everybody to put that 7 of diamonds back in, flip over all your cards, and mix them up so that I know that they are not in any sort of order that you recognize or remember. So Marcy, you gotta make sure you mix them all up for me. Trey, you're good. Caleb, you're good. Now just spread them out for me. All right. Next card you are looking for is, make sure one hand behind your back. You only have one hand flipping. The Jack of Spades. Go. Brandon's in. Marcy's in. Time to Trey, Caleb, and Leanne. Looking for the Jack of Spades. Trey is in, and Leanne is in. Caleb, I'm sorry, you have been eliminated. All right, please flip back your cards over, mix them all up. Marcy, I do need you to actually shuffle them together because everybody else is fully shuffling. So I need you to gather all the cards up, shuffle them. Thank you. I'll give you a moment to spread them back out if you want, but I just want to make sure they're fully shuffled.
Why do I have a cookie sheet? Hang on, I'm going to get the cards up.
Down to Leanne, Marcy, Brandon, and Trey. Give you a moment to shuffle them up, spread them back out. All right. Everybody good? The next one we need, make sure one hand is behind your back, only flipping with one, is the 4 of Hearts. Go. Marcy's in. Leanne is in. Brandon's in. I'm sorry, Trey, you have been eliminated. Trey, if you can pop off your camera for me, please. And if you guys can mix your cards back up for me. Down to Brandon, Leanne, and Marcy. Marcy, I do need to mix up the cards for me. I know. I know.
I mixed all the ones I looked at, Trey. I mean, Justin, it only took me it happened to be the third one.
All right. For the next round, we got to get them all mixed up, though. These guys are mixing their cards up fully. So we got to make sure they're all mixed up. All right, spread them out. All right, the next card you are looking for is the 9 of clubs. Go. Marcy is in.
Can I start my shuffle process now?
Yep. 9 of clubs, Brandon. 9 of clubs.
Got it.
Leanne is in. Sorry, Brandon, you have been eliminated. All right, we're down to Marcy and Leanne for the final round.
Here we go, Marcy.
Shuffle them all up.
Woohoo, Leanne! I wish we could both win.
I know, me too. At least we don't have to set the cards on fire.
All right, spread them all out. And for the other heat, if you guys can get yours all spread out, ready to go, so we can jump right into your heat after this, that would be great. Hopefully you're listening and watching and seeing the different strategies out there. All right. Okay. The card you are looking for, one hand behind your back. Card you're looking for is the King of Spades. Go. King of Spades. Marcy is in. Congratulations, Marcy.
There you go, Marcy.
You have 1 immunity. Marcy, you will pick somebody to go in the second heat. Who out of your group would you like to go in the second heat?
Someone out of the group that just went?
Yes, anybody from your group.
Can you guys remind me who was in my group?
Amanda, Caleb, Leanne, Trey, and Brandon.
Brandon.
All right, Brandon, you will compete again in heat number 2. Leanne, if you can pop off your camera for me. Everybody can turn their cameras back on that are in this group. So we have Emma, Michael, Naomi, Josh, Jess, and Brandon.
Wait, do we have to show you that they're shuffled first so we can spread them out?
As long as they're spread out, yeah, this first round is fine. After that, we'll want to make sure we shuffle them all up. So spread them out however you'd like. We saw the various strategies last time. All right, everyone is looking good. Jess, are you able to push your camera back a little bit just so I can see a little bit more of the table, or no? I know it's hard. Sorry. Don't worry about it too much. It's okay. Just make sure you're only using one hand, because I can't really see other than I can see a very close up of your hand. Cool. All right. Everybody good?
Yep.
Everybody's looking good. Make sure you're only using one hand, please. The first card we're looking for is the 7 of Hearts. Go. One card at a time. Jess is in. Brandon's in. Josh is in. Keep that card held up. Josh, keep that card held up for me. Just so I'm... Emma, I think your camera popped off. There you are, you're in. Mike was in just before Naomi. Naomi, you have been eliminated. Mike, that was by a second. It was a hair. Naomi is out of the challenge. Naomi, you can turn off your camera for me. All right. Make sure you're all shuffled up. Mix those cards all up. As long as I see that you're doing a good shuffle. I mute. Sorry. You don't have to mute. It's all right. I like listening to the fluttering of cards. All right. Get them all spread out for me. All right, everybody good? Next card you are looking for is the Queen of Diamonds. Go. Mike is in. Trying to make sure you're only flipping one at a time. Getting a lot of cards in those hands. Josh is in. Emma's in. And Jess is in. Brandon, you have been eliminated. Down to Emma, Michael, Josh, and Jess. Get them all mixed up for me. All right. Everybody good?
Yep.
Jess, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Perfect. All right. The next card that you need to find is the 8 of clubs. Go. 8 of clubs. Emma, you might be frozen, just so you know. Jess is in. Josh is in. Emma, I can't tell if you're in or not. You're frozen.
Excuse me.
Emma is in. Mike, I'm sorry, you have been eliminated. Emma, just so you know, your camera's really rough, girl. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything you could do about it, but I lost you there for a little bit. Emma, Josh, and Jess. If for some reason you freeze, I may have to call it, just so you know. So do whatever you can. It's good. It's okay for right now, I think. Mix them all up. Down to Emma, Josh.
Could I possibly hop onto Amanda's camera?
Yep. If you want to move over to her desk for a moment to finish the challenge, you can do that. Just make it quick.
Sure. All right. The other. All right. Sorry, here, Amanda.
If you want to use Amanda's camera, you can do that too. There you go. All right, if you just angle it down so I can see that space. Perfect. All right, we ready?
Yep.
Next card you need is the 2 of spades. Go. Josh is in, and Jess is in. I'm sorry, Emma, you have been eliminated.
Oh, God. That one did not want to be found.
Down to Josh and Jess, cousins battling it out for immunity.
Josh.
All right, spread them all out.
So I'm trying to quickly flip through the thing to get to the ammo log, and I bought one of them by accident.
All right. The final card for immunity is the Ace of Hearts. Go. Jess, within 3 cards. Found it. Congratulations, Jess.
Nice, Jess.
All right, so
that's crazy.
Everybody can pop back on camera. Congratulations to Jess and to Marcy. You have won immunity. You cannot be voted out. Everybody else is fair game. I will give you guys some strategy time before tribal council. Let's plan on around like 9:05 Eastern. So you got about 7 minutes or so to strategize on who will be next out. If you have any questions, feel free to privately message me, but this will just be a standard tribal council, no drag, something like that.
So you say.
All right.
Wow. So Marcy and Jess are safe, right?
Marcy.
John, you're muted.
I was just saying, I think Trey's probably screwed this round. Unless he can get Brandon and Mike. How many people are voting? 12?
11.
I hope it's not Trey.
Me too.
They have their. What did he get? He gave Naomi his steal vote, right? So they could maybe try to use that.
Did they switch? Is that what they did?
Yeah, Trey gave Naomi the steal a vote because Naomi gave Leanne her idol.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they technically have four votes right now. So they really just need to.
Brandon and Mike, maybe.
Yeah, it depends on who they're with.
Guys, I'm really sad, but I have to go do a silly competition for Amazing Race.
Ooh.
So I can't
Already moved up to your next big game.
come off to my next big game. But I hope to see you guys in a future game. This was so fun.
It was
nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Thanks
Good luck in
for
your
letting
game.
me join late. Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Absolutely.
Bye.
All right. So if we don't think it's Trey, what do you think are the other most likely options?
Leanne.
Yeah, Trey or Leanne.
I don't like
Unfortunately.
No.
Naomi. Like, those three are probably big targets.
Right.
Yeah.
They kind of were able to pull off the Rachel side.
Mm-hmm.
So you know Caleb's probably going after one of them three.
Right.
And others with Caleb.
Right. He's got what, Amanda and Emma? Yeah, this would be if it's not Trey or Leanne, I would be very shocked.
I mean, I'm sure they're giving their best pitch to whoever will listen right now, but
Yeah.
definitely an uphill battle.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I think Amanda's in a really great spot because not only does she still have an idol, doesn't seem like she's in a lot of danger. She also knows that a lot of idols have been played. So having an idol in the situation where you've seen 3 other played makes you feel pretty good about the fact that I'm probably the only person left in this game that has an idol.
Right. I wonder if Justin pops on, I wonder if anybody got Pandora when they logged in tonight.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting, yeah.
So there could be maybe something else out there.
Naomi still has to steal a vote.
Right. And Josh has a block of vote. But they're on opposite sides of alliances, right?
Yeah.
He's with Jess. Whew.
I feel like Naomi has to, I would imagine that she has to use a steal a vote this round.
Mm-hmm.
Whose vote does she steal? Caleb?
Probably to get some revenge.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, man.
Whew.
So what would that put the numbers at then?
Like,
still not enough?
We have 4. They needed to.
Yeah, it would be 4 against, and that's if everybody else is voting together. Which I guess at this point,
If someone decides to throw the vote, thinking that they have plenty of numbers.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they did throw a vote last time. Right?
Yeah, they put what, two on Jess?
Caleb.
Yeah. Oh man, that was crazy. I don't know.
So, yeah, I really hope something does happen here, because otherwise, then it's just gonna be like a it's gonna be a
like a pagonging.
Pagonging, yeah. Because once it's down to 2, you just knock those out real quick, and it's like that's one of the more unfortunate things when you don't have as much time, is that kind of scenario does tend to play out a little bit more.
Yeah.
You just don't have enough time to sway other people. That being said, if there's anyone in this game that can sway people, I mean, Leanne has a strong case. So, and honestly, if they used to steal a vote, they only need one person to either throw a vote or switch.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice to see something different happen, just from a viewer's perspective. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far Caleb can make it now without Rachel. To see if Rachel's drag was the best decision for to protect him going forward,
2-minute warning.
Oh.
Justin said 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's going by quick.
I know, right? Can you imagine if you're trying to vote in this situation, though? It's flying by if you're one of them.
Right, yeah. So yeah, we've only seen 2 people go so far. Well, I don't think we know how many people are planned to go tonight, right? Did Justin mention that?
Yeah, no, he did not mention that.
Okay.
Which is cool. I don't want to know ahead of time how many.
Right. Yeah, I'll keep the suspense.
One second here. Ooh. Yeah, so, man, I wish Hannah was on here to talk, because I know she'd have some stuff to say. But it's just kind of just like, at this point, we're just so far out of the loop as far as where their heads are at, because so much went down that last tribal. It's just like everything that we knew before, but we might as well just throw out the window, because it changes everything,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting, because if Matt was still here, do you think that would have changed anything?
All right, if everybody can get back to the video, please.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think they probably still would have tried to go for Trey and Leanne first.
Right.
And then maybe a Matt Jess situation. But stranger things have happened.
This is true.
I think I just need Amanda, Trey, and Naomi.
Were we supposed to have already voted?
No, not yet. Not yet. Welcome back to Tribal Council. Exciting first hour of the game so far. I'm going to go to Leanne. After playing 2 idols, I have to ask you a question. So how are you feeling right now? That was obviously a pretty big play. So how are you feeling at this point in the game?
Oh gosh, I still feel terrified. I still even felt scared knowing the idols were there. I don't know. This is just, it's so scary. I'm hoping we can keep going. I don't want anybody to go, but I think lots of people can be trusted and some might be able to be trusted. I don't know. You might have to ask me a more specific question.
No problem. Caleb, how does it change the way you're going to play the game now that Rachel is out of the game?
Now that Rachel's gone. Well, I now know that Leanne I totally underestimated her. It's changed what I was thinking completely. I mean, if we were voting for who should win right now, she's won 3 idols and played all 3 at the right time. So it just was a total, I totally underestimated her. I thought she was just doing this because Trey brought her in, and trying to do it for the first time. And I realized, well done, Leanne. You're running away with this thing. It's excellent. And I don't know. I don't know what's going forward. I thought that I was good for a little while. And now I'm very aware that Leanne and by default Trey have the grip on numbers.
Marcy, similar question over to you. Now that Matt's out of the game, does that change your strategy at all or how you plan to play the game?
I'm sad that Matt's gone, but now I can be my own woman, Justin.
And do you feel as though you needed that immunity win to kind of give yourself a little bit more time to integrate now that Matt's gone?
I will always take an immunity win. Yes.
Jess, how about for you? Was that immunity really important, especially after playing an idol last tribal?
I think every immunity is important. So yes, and definitely. I'm still reeling from the first one, even though, again, as Leanne said, had the idol, but I'm still like, it's always terrifying.
Yeah. Naomi, I'm going to ask you a question. So Rachel had a lot to say about you on her way out, kind of deeming you not a big a threat. Does that light a fire under you where you want to kind of prove that you are a threat, or does it kind of just roll off your back and you don't really care?
I'm so stressed out by everything in this game. And if I got voted out, I would sleep a lot. She's not wrong that I'm by myself and I don't have social connections like everyone else does. I guess that's not answering the question. I don't really.
That's all right. Josh, you were pretty vocal as Rachel was making her drag decision, trying to kind of speak your piece. Do you feel as though that influenced her in any way? Do you feel like you had to fight, or?
Yeah, I definitely had to fight. The fact that I voted Caleb, I thought she was going to be very betrayed by that and immediately target me. But I had to tell her it was just a throwaway vote because I knew crazy stuff was going to happen and I didn't want no votes out there. So I just had to throw a vote so it wouldn't be me. And that was my play. That's what I had to do. Unfortunately, she still had the majority after all is said and done. So it wasn't like I personally did that to her. I felt like so.
And Brandon, you very openly admitted you didn't have a vote last round. Did it kind of go the way you were expecting, or were there surprises for you?
I got to tell you, I had no idea how it was going to go. I heard a couple names over the weekend, but when I lost my vote, I was just listening. There was literally nothing I could do. And how it went down, how it would have went down if I had a vote, I probably couldn't tell you. But we're past it, so we're moving forward.
And Emma, we haven't really talked about it much, but you're the youngest player to ever play Pandora. And I'm just curious if you feel like kind of being on the younger side is an advantage or disadvantage for you.
So, well, now that it's merged, I try to reach out to people, but I feel as though people do feel a little odd talking strategy to a 16-year-old. So it could be a disadvantage for that, but it's also an advantage in other ways. Yeah.
All right. With that, we'll get to the vote. Unless there's anything, as I said, I'll always leave the floor open if there's anything anybody wants to say publicly or live at Tribal Council. Now would be the time to do that.
I think there's one more idol left in the game. Who do you think has it? I think Amanda has it.
Wait, what?
I think there's one more idol left in the game, and I think you have it, Amanda.
No, do you want to know what I got from Pandora's Island? I'll tell you. I got a drag blocker.
I don't think you got it from Pandora's Island, though. I think you got it from where Jess got it and where my mom got it.
Wait, where'd you guys get it? You're not giving me
it from Tree Mail.
Was that the first
There's only
one?
two tree mails. That means two people got it, and if I got it, that means 3.
It was when there were 3 tries.
Listen, I think you're overestimating me. I'm not as smart as you think. Honestly, I'm not. I don't have anything. Please don't vote for me. I'm begging you. I'm not a threat. I'm just floating by. That's my goal.
I think there's one more idol left in the game, guys. And it's I'll tell you this. It's between Emma, Amanda, and Caleb.
So he's right.
I think.
But he's wrong.
If it was voted out on that original tribe, I think there's one more idol left in the game.
Right? Amanda has it, but that's not where she got it from.
It was only one.
Guys, I'm hearing information. Oh, I have an idol. Oh no, not me.
I don't know if they're gonna buy it.
I don't know about. So, like, are you guys just like talking amongst yourself, like, oh, I have an idol, or oh no, I don't.
No, this is.
I don't know. I don't know how you're able to pin it like that.
I like if we're going off like who were on those original swap tribes, I think out of Matt, Marcy, myself, Rachel and Naomi, one person has an idol.
Wait.
And I think that's where my mom got one of hers. Out of.
Wait, so only one person per tribe could get
per swap tribe when we swapped into
I get what you mean. So there were 3 tribes. I thought only one person answered it, and then didn't solve that. So
no.
Each person from the swap and they won an idol.
Jess, can you confirm that you got your idol from that tree mail?
It was the Pandora one, right?
You can't confirm that.
Okay, that's good enough. Thanks for the information.
Can you confirm that, Jess?
I did not know that.
Jess, sorry, your sound isn't. I don't know. What can't hear you?
Can you hear me now?
It's really muffled.
Sound like you're underwater.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's gonna type an answer.
I'm just saying there's one idol left in the game. Like, you did not get your idol from Trino. Did you get it from Pandora's box?
Me?
No, Jessica.
Oh.
So there's 2 more idols left in the game, y'all.
All right. Is there anything else anyone would like to say before we get to the vote? All right.
That's what I'm going to say.
Sorry?
I'm scared.
Oh. I do want to let you know that Pandora's box has been opened. And I'm sorry, Caleb, but you have lost your vote. Vote, so you will not vote at this tribal council. So Caleb will not vote. And with that, everybody else, please submit your vote to me privately as you have been doing.
Oh my word.
Caleb said he might have been able to pull the numbers. Was he being serious about that or bluffing? Meaning Trey.
Saying that Trey had the numbers, you
Has
mean?
the numbers, yeah.
I think. No, I think the intent was that he was underestimating Leanne, and they were able to swap. Getting great. I feel like Trey is still going to be the one here, unless people throw votes on Amanda.
I feel like Trey did a lot of talking there. I feel like he feels like he's in trouble.
I think he knows.
Yeah.
I
He should have just said he had one.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be playing another idol. Like vote someone. You know what I mean?
That's smart.
But then they would have put it on Leanne probably.
Mm.
I do think if they get one out, the other one might be able to make it a few more rounds. It wouldn't necessarily be next.
I think so. When jury started, is it this round?
It's usually final 9 with Justin.
So two more, right? We're at 11.
Yeah.
Oh.
You had final.
We had
9 jury votes, me, you, but then one related. So
yeah, it started
with Brendan.
Started with Brendan, yeah. So there was 8 jury members, but then you were able to bring back one more.
Yeah. So then. No.
I wonder if do you think Amanda will play her idol just because she's nervous, or is she acting nervous?
I think she was a little.
Well, what sucks is that there's no way they could have known this, but I've played with Amanda and I've seen her under pressure, and I could have told anyone from. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I know she has an idol, but I feel like I could have told from her reaction that, like, oh no, she has an idol. She got called.
It just sucks because he wasn't right by how she got it.
Yeah.
He just thinks she has it because.
How did she get it?
And that's the thing, is that she's annoyed that,
Yeah.
that's how that happened. Like, by lucky chance,
Right.
she's being called out, and that's why she's like annoyed, because it's like,
All right. I tallied the votes. Once the person has been voted out, you'll be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Hello. Yeah, I do have an idol. I got it from Pandora's box, but I'm like having trouble right now because I don't know who to play it on. Like you guys stole Caleb's vote, so okay, it's a real shame because you guys are going after like the little people while there's Leanne sitting there pretty, Trey sitting there pretty. You know, you're all sitting there, and you all threats are banding together right now, and I really don't understand why, because we're all here on the bottom, so I don't know who I should play it on, me or Caleb. I'm just gonna. I'm going to play it on myself because I'm sorry, Caleb, but I'm going to play it on myself. I just feel like I'm going to play it on myself. This idol's for me.
Okay.
Maybe that's a bad idea. Okay.
Amanda has played her idol.
Maybe that's a bad idea.
It is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes for Amanda will not count. First vote. Leanne. Oh no. I'm going to turn it off again. It just looks so cool. I'm going to turn it off.
No.
First vote, Leanne.
Oh boy.
Next vote. Caleb.
Man,
One vote, Leanne. One vote, Caleb. Next vote. Amanda. Does not. Next vote. Amanda. Does not.
Oh my god.
Next vote. Amanda. Does not.
Oh my goodness.
Next vote. Amanda. Does not count.
Oh
So that's one vote, Caleb. One vote.
Gotta be one more Leanne vote.
Next vote. Trey. One vote, Caleb. One vote, Leanne. One vote, Trey. Next vote. Trey.
Oh my god.
One vote, Leanne. One vote, Caleb. Next vote. Trey. It's 3 votes, Trey. 1 vote, Leanne. 1 vote, Caleb. Next vote is for Trey. Trey, I'm sorry, that is enough. The tribe has spoken.
Hey, Mom. Mom.
You're super idol, don't you?
Marcy voted for me.
Oh, thank God. I got a super idol.
All right, Trey. Thank you so much for playing.
Wait, how many votes were on me?
Yeah, what was the vote count? Did anyone pay attention?
I'm confused.
All right. We are going to get to our next immunity challenge. Let me just
5-4-1-1, maybe?
Merge chat for a moment.
Was it 5 Amanda?
Just a reminder, please do not communicate.
5 Trey, I think.
Who has been voted game.
Don't quote me.
Please tell me.
Did Amanda get 4 votes?
Next challenge is called Words.
Maybe with 6-3
Here's
one more.
how it's going to work. Each round, I'm going to be giving you a color combination.
I think I got
Code.
this
You
challenge for
spell
Justin.
any word that you would like.
It's so hard.
Code is blue can be any letter between A through M. And this will be on every slide, so you don't have to like write this down or memorize it. Red can be any letter between N and Z. Yellow can be any vowel, and that's A-E-I-O-U. We're not going to do the sometimes Y, just A-E-I-O-U. Green can be any consonant, and pink can only be used once in that word. So I'm going to kind of explain how this is going to work. So I will throw up a slide that says blue, yellow, green. You could respond with the word cat, because C is any letter between A through M, which is blue. A is a vowel, which is yellow, and green is any consonant, so that's T. Another example, red, pink, yellow, green, green. So that can't be the word start, because anything that's pink, which would be the first T in this word, can't be used again in that word. So can't use the word start, but you could do the word stand. So red is any letter between N through Z, including vowels. Just want to be clear on that. Pink, the T can only be used once. Yellow is a vowel. Green and green are just any two consonants. All right, so I'm going to give you a series of color codes that you will then respond with any word that follows that combination. So once I give the code, you're going to type your word in the main Zoom chat to everybody. So where we've been doing those answers, you will do it there. Here is where you answer. So make sure you're chatting in Zoom. And I will check the words within the order that they come to me. So as we all know, I might see something differently than you see. I will check the words in the order that they come to me. In the event that someone submits an incorrect word, then I will check the next word that is submitted. So if you submit a word and you don't follow the code, or it's not a real word, then the next word submitted will be checked. You can only submit one word each round. So if you submit cat and you realize that doesn't follow the code, you cannot submit another word. Please don't clutter up the chat in any way. First person to submit a word that matches the code scores a point. The word must be a real word. I will check any questionable words on dictionary.com, and I will also check in with my production team if I don't know the word, and for some reason dictionary.com is not clear. But it just has to be a real word. I would say just try not to risk it and submit a word that people may not know. The number of letters will increase at predetermined rounds, so the code will get longer and longer as we go. And the first person to 3 points wins immunity and a special power. So this is a big one. If nobody has 3 points by the end of 12 rounds, the player with the most points will win, or we go to a tiebreaker. Does everyone understand? Any questions? Feel free to unmute if you have a question.
Justin, so
Yes.
if you say, okay, yellow means any vowel, green, you can use any consonant, pink, that means you can only use a letter once in that word?
You can, whatever letter you put in the pink spot can only be used once in that word. So in that example, start, you couldn't use start for that because you use a T twice.
Right.
See what I mean?
You could use star or yes, or yeah. Okay.
But that can be a consonant or a vowel, the pink?
Just any letter, just can only use it once in the word, whatever you put in that spot.
Gotcha,
Yep.
cool.
Any other questions, thoughts, feelings, needs? All right, so just remember, it's the first person to submit a word on the Zoom chat. Obviously, this is a word game, so spelling does count. If you make sure you double check your spelling before you hit that enter button. I know you want to be fast, but you also want to be accurate. So I'm going to put a line, and we're going to get to our first code. As soon as it's up there, feel free to start working on your word. The code, the color combinations will be on every slide too. So if you need to double check it, it will be in front of you each time. All right. Just need to double check to see if I do not. Okay, so it's going to come up as soon as I click the first code. As soon as I do that, feel free to type and go. Mike is in first with any. Oh, I can't even see the code. So yellow is any vowel. Blue is any letter between A and M. Sorry, Mike, that is not going to match the code. Josh is with air. That is A is a vowel, that's correct. I is any letter between A and M, that's correct. And red is any letter between N and Z, which is R, that is correct. So Josh scores the point. And guys, keep me honest, I'm gonna try to move through this fast, so if I screw up one of the scores or something like that, just let me know. There's no judgment here. So yeah, be vocal if I screw up one of these. All right, next one is up now. We have red, yellow, pink, green. Mike is in first with nuts. I'm gonna check nuts first. So red is any letter between N through Z, that's correct. Yellow is a vowel, correct. T is there, and green is any consonant. That is correct. Mike scores a point. All right, next one is up. You got blue, blue, yellow, green, yellow. Brandon is in first with fears. So I'm just gonna write these down. Fears. So that is correct. That is correct. A is a vowel, yes. R is any consonant. Sorry, S is not a vowel, just a yellow at the end there. So Brandon, that does not work. Ugh. Next one was amore. M-O-R-E. So we have blue is correct. Blue is correct. Yellow is correct. Green is correct.
Did Mike get it?
Hold, please. All right, we are going to accept it. So Mike will score a point for that one. Mike is at 2 points.
Dan was here. Love was on the brain.
I'm just going to make a decision now that we want English words only. So it is the Italian word for love, but so we'll accept it because I did not clarify. Moving forward, English words only, please. All right. Next one is up. Green, blue, yellow, red, blue. Mike with 2 points, Josh with 1 at this point. Mike in with beard. Green is any consonant. Blue is anything between A and, yep, that works. Yellow is a vowel. Red is any letter between N through Z. And blue is any letter. So congratulations, Mike, with that. That is 3 points, and you have 1 immunity. So congratulations. I had so many rounds built, and we're not going to get to any of them. It's all your fault, Mike.
Sorry. Listen, I'm an English teacher. You cast an English teacher. What do you want from me?
So just so you know, they got harder and longer. It's going to be really exciting. Anyway, congratulations to Mike. Mike, you have 1 immunity. And as I mentioned, you will have a special power. This is actually our big brother round. So you have now become head of household, and you will nominate 2 people to be up for eviction. Those will be the only 2 people who can be voted out at tribal council. That being said, there will be a power of veto competition for those of you who are familiar with Big Brother. So those 2 people, along with you, Mike, as the head of household, you'll each pick 1 person to compete with you in the power of veto. So there'll be 6 folks competing in the power of veto. Whoever wins will have the opportunity to take themselves off the block or take someone else off the block if they're not on the block. And that will then force Mike to name a new nominee, but those will be the only 2 people who can receive votes at tribal council. So at the end of all of this, we will end up with 2 people, and those are the only 2 people you can vote for at tribal council. So Mike, you have a big decision to make. I'm going to give you a few moments to think about it. And in about 5 minutes, I will need your decision on who your 2 nominees will be. And then we will get to the power of veto competition. So Mike, you have about 5 minutes to make your decision. So about 9:36 or so, I will come back on and ask for your 2 nominees. Okay.
The infamous Big Brother round.
Wow,
Hannah.
here it is.
Hey guys.
Hey Hannah, welcome. Have you been watching for the most part?
Yes, I've been able to tune in. So the guy who has all the alliances and playing the middle is the one who has to nominate people.
Yeah. Now, if he's smart, he should put up like 2 big. No, should he put up 2 big threats? Because it's
Leanne and Jess.
Yeah.
I think
Leanne and
Homeboy's-
Caleb.
He's gonna pick who will make everybody the happiest.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What do you think, Joe? You know him better.
It's gonna make. It'll be It'll be controversial because there are a lot of people who would be cheering for her to go out, and there's a lot of people who like desperately want her to stay. So it's like, I think here's the big thing: Leanne causes discussion and reaction, and it's almost like you would rather have someone who wouldn't cause that than. Because you're the one being responsible for it. So it's not like you're just creating drama for other people to get involved with.
Matt's in the chat saying Leanne and Jess.
Yeah, I think Leanne's got to be one of the noms.
Just wondering, someone who's never watched a single episode of Big Brother, what does eviction mean? Being voted out? Is that what it means?
I'll mute that.
I was like, where's that coming from?
Hey Matt, it sucks to see you go.
Yes, Matt.
But-
Big Matt fans.
I feel like I'd pay to watch you all chat. Hey Matt, the Venmo is Hannah Jill. You know, I did tip in there.
Damn.
Hannah, you're breaking up.
Yeah, Hannah, you're breaking
Yeah.
up a bit.
Hannah, if you need another screen cap moment, it's our faces at the last tribal.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Can you guys
That
hear
was
me?
wild. Yeah, it's a little
bit better.
It's getting better, yeah. Matt said he missed the full Venmo.
So
Matt knew he
wow,
was
we
gonna
just
get
had
dragged though. That's
I mean, he fought. He definitely fought to stay.
so.
I don't get it. I don't get Rachel. What did Rachel tell you anything? If
I
Matt
asked-
voted with Rachel, why would you drag him?
I asked her if Caleb had like an input. If like, because I figured like, why not just take the person who Caleb wants? Because Caleb's still in the game, and
Mhm.
he was like, they had discussed beforehand, dragging Matt because he's big threat number one. And she
'Cause
she said, there's 3 people I would love to drag right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think I would have dragged Naomi. Naomi.
Well,
Yeah.
she didn't want to drag her because she felt like that doesn't benefit Caleb because she thinks she's a goat.
Yeah, but I think Matt would have voted with Caleb for maybe a round or two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Matt almost had it. I don't know.
So, did Amanda save herself with that idol?
I can't tell. I think
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think
It
they
would've
still
been a
have
tie at
more.
best.
I don't know what
Because they didn't finish the
Yes,
votes.
Matt.
I think they revealed them all. I think there was 11, maybe. But it was like 1-1 and then like 5-4 or 5-3.
Mhm.
I forget what thing was used.
Oh,
It
but
was a-
Caleb didn't have a vote, so there's 10 votes.
Right, that's right.
So 1-1. 4-4. So
Four.
she did save herself.
Oh.
It would have been a tie.
Wow.
Don't you love her?
That was great.
That was
awesome.
that was really good. Good thing she used it on herself.
You got to go GIF that
William.
moment.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Trey didn't know. You don't pick a fight with Amanda.
Yeah, Will knows that. Well, Will won that
I'm
fight.
sorry, I won that match.
Yeah, Will won that
She
fight.
went home that time.
There was no live stream back then. I've only heard about it.
This is true. And I was telling them that I know this from
What?
experience, and admittedly, I was a bit biased, but I
Caleb
was
is
like,
still
I could
in.
tell just by her reaction that she was mad that she got called out just randomly.
Yeah. It just sucks because, well, it doesn't matter anymore, but Trey was right about the idol, but wrong about how she got it.
Exactly. That's why she was so like, "Rrr." But yeah, idol play. So
Right,
now there's no
Caleb
idols left.
and Brandon.
All right, Mike.
you gonna do?
Mike,
What's he
big
gonna
Mike.
do?
What are we gonna do, Mike?
You all right, Mike?
Listen, I liked you for a while.
Love it, Matt. Love it, Matt. I wish I was there.
Just on camera, buddy. Wherever you may be.
What are the odds that Caleb survives tonight?
Caleb, are you out there?
I think he has a good shot.
You're just delaying Mike's agony here, Caleb. There he is.
What's he doing?
All right, here now.
No worries. All right, Mike. As HOH, you now have to nominate 2 people for eviction. Who are those 2 people going to be? And feel free to, if you want to say why, you're welcome to. Tell me the names.
Travis, send a sticker. I'm a horrible person. I'm sorry.
Not on you. I'm just thinking. So just to preface this, I think that like with the last few votes, this power is super scary. And so I want to make sure that the people that I have bonded with feel safe with me, but at the same time, I also feel like moves need to be made. So with that being said, the 2 nominees, the first nominee is Naomi. I am nominating you because I don't think that you're playing the game. I think that you're here having fun, and that's great, but I think that there are a lot of people here really trying to play the game. So I just feel like you're kind of a safe nominee at this point.
The shade.
Wow.
The shade.
And I'm so sorry. It just like with the last vote and the way it all went, I just want to make sure that the people that trust me, and I know you trust me, and I just don't know what to do in this moment. So I'm sorry.
All right. So Naomi and Leanne, as well as Mike, you will compete in the power of veto to try and save yourself. You each need to choose somebody, one of your fellow competitors, to compete in the challenge as well. You can pick someone that you think might potentially save you if they use the power, if they win the power. Or you might pick somebody who maybe won't be much of competitions to help you win. So it's kind of up to you to decide how you want to play it. Mike, I'll let you pick. Sorry?
Justin, what do you mean? We choose somebody to do what?
So 6 people are going to compete in the power of veto competition. So you're just going to select one person out of anybody who's not playing yet to compete as well. If they win, they could take you off the block if they win the power. If you win the power, you can take yourself off the block. So it's up to you if you want to maybe pick someone you think might use it on you if they win it, or maybe pick somebody that won't be much competition and will help you then maybe do better in the challenge.
So the person who she picks, like, they're not going to be on the block even if they lose.
Nope. And if they use the power of veto, they are also safe from being put up by Mike if they take someone down. Yes. So Mike, we'll let you pick first. Who would you like to compete in the challenge with you?
I think it's obvious that I picked Brandon.
Okay. Naomi, who would you like to compete in the challenge?
I don't know. Mike was right. I don't know what's going on.
I don't either.
Just pick a random person. Who would you like to compete in the challenge?
I don't.
Oh, Naomi with confidence.
Emma.
Emma. All right, Emma, you'll be competing. And Leanne, who would you like to compete?
So I'm competing against this person
Yep.
to do something. Oh,
Yes, but you don't know what the challenge is just yet.
I'll take Amanda.
Amanda. All right. So we've got Mike, Brandon, Naomi, Emma, Leanne, and Amanda. If you are not one of those 6 people, you have a little bit of a break. So feel free to use the restroom, drink. Don't go too far, please, because we do want to move on with the rest of the night. Okay. So for the 6 of you who are competing in the Power of Veto competition, we already did this part, so the HOH and the 2 nominees, select somebody to compete. I'm going to send you a link to a puzzle called the Tower of Hanoi. It looks like the puzzle up in the top right corner. The Tower of Hanoi consists of 3 rods and a number of discs of different sizes, which you can see up there. The puzzle starts with 5 discs in a neat stack in ascending order on 1 rod, the smallest at the top, as you can see. The object of the puzzle is to move the entire stack from rod A to rod C, so to the far right, obeying 3 simple rules. 1, only 1 disc can be moved at a time. 2, each move consists of taking the upper disc from one of the stacks and placing it on top of another stack or onto an empty rod. And 3 is no larger disc can be placed on top of a smaller disc. So disc 5 can't be put on top of disc 1, for example. So your goal is to get all 5 discs to the 3rd pole on the right, moving 1 disc at a time, making sure that no larger disc is placed on top of a smaller disc. Once you've completed the puzzle, you're going to send a screenshot or a photo of the completed puzzle and post it in the Merge Facebook chat. So on the Oikos chat, you'll just post the picture in there once you've completed it. So it'll look like that. So you want to take a screenshot or take a photo with your phone and put it in there. It may say you win, however, you've made too many moves because I took way too long to do it to get that, but I wanted to show you what it would look like. Don't worry if it says that. You still, as long as you are the first person to submit your completed screenshot, you win the Power of Veto. All right, so once the puzzle is complete, you'll have a screen kind of up in that right corner. It'll look kind of like that. And you'll want to take a picture of that and put it in the Merge Tribe chat on Facebook. Where I sent the Zoom link and everything. So the first player to complete the puzzle will win the Power of Veto. If you are on the block, so if Naomi or Leanne win, they can take themselves off and Mike has to put up a replacement. If Mike, Brandon, Emma, or Amanda win, they can choose to take Naomi or Leanne off the block. They will be safe and Mike will still have to put somebody up on the block next to them. Does that make sense? Any questions?
Yes, I need to go get my phone from my room from Emma because
hurry right now. Hurry, go fast.
Okay. Emma, okay, I need your phone.
Is the time posted on the site?
I'm sorry?
The time will be posted on the site, or is it the first one to screenshot it?
Doesn't matter what your time is or how many moves you do. It's the first person to post that completed screenshot.
Okay.
So I will send the puzzle in the tribe chat, in the Merge trap is where the puzzle will go. I will warn you, when you open the link, you are going to have to click start. And there sometimes is music that plays. So just be wary that may happen.
Question, how do you screenshot your computer screen?
You push FN and then I'm pretty sure print, PRTSC.
That's part of the challenge. You got to figure out that piece of it.
Wait, FN.
You can also use your phone to take a photo of your screen. If that works as well. Any other questions? So just a reminder, only those 6 people need to compete. If other people want to click the link, that's fine, but just don't put anything in the chat. Don't try to mess with them. Just Mike, Brandon, Naomi, Emma, Leanne, and Amanda are clicking this link and competing in the puzzle. Any questions?
I'm still trying to figure out how to print a screen.
I hope you figure that out soon. All right, I'm going to release the link of the puzzle into the Facebook chat. That's where you'll post your screenshot in 3, 2, 1. It is in the Merge chat group.
Math Playground. I used to do this as a kid.
So it should be the Tower of Hanoi puzzle. You'll have to click start. I might mute some of you just because there are noises that happen. So the puzzle shouldn't allow you to break any of the rules, just so you know. So if you don't remember the rules, that's okay. But you're trying to get all 5 discs to the other side. Take a photo of it. Put it in the Merge Tribe chat. Make sure it's in the Merge Tribe chat. Not anywhere else. Oikos Merge Tribe chat, where I put the link, is where you want to put your photo of your completed puzzle. Brandon. Brandon has already completed the puzzle. Congratulations, Brandon. You have won the power of veto. Wow. However, you made too many moves. That's what it says.
Too many. It was the perfect amount of moves.
Congratulations, Naomi. You also completed it. Doesn't matter, but it's nice that you completed it. So, Brandon, I'll give you a few minutes to determine if you would like to use the power of veto. It is up to you. We'll give you a couple of minutes just to think about it. Leanne and Naomi, if you'd like to chat with Brandon about him using the power, feel free to do so, but I'll ask for your decision in about 3 minutes, around 9:50.
Cool. I just have one question, Justin. You said if I remove one of them and Mike has to pick somebody else, he can't put me up, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Not that I don't know.
I would love it if you did do that. That would be epic.
Imagine.
Justin, are we finished with this game?
Yes. Brandon has won it. Yes, he completed
Sorry,
it.
Leanne.
Way to go, Brandon.
Thank you.
So Leanne and Naomi, if you'd like to, you can chat with Brandon privately about him using this power on you. He does have the power to take you off the block. If he doesn't use it, then everyone else can only vote for Naomi or Leanne at the next tribal council. If he does use it, he could take one of you off the block, and then Mike could do a replacement nominee. So I'll give you guys a few minutes to chat about that. But Brandon does have the power to save one of you if you would like to do so.
Okay, let me go find Brandon.
Question. So it's over. I've been doing this.
I know, same.
Yes, sorry, it is over. There's only one person that wins. Yes, Brandon.
Oh, I thought it was per pair who wins. So now Brandon can choose.
That's what I thought.
Chopping block now?
I'm sorry?
Am I on the chopping block now?
Not yet. So Brandon.
Not yet.
Brandon can take Leanne or Naomi off the block. If he does that, Mike will have to put somebody else in their place. And that could be anybody else except for Brandon.
Okay.
Oh man.
We got to get some of these people to watch a couple episodes of Big Brother.
Right?
That's too funny.
So, so right now, as it stands, it's Leanne versus Naomi. And it's Brandon who has the veto power.
Yeah, he's not going to use it.
No, because then Mike has to get more blood in his hands.
Right. So there's no way. I'd be shocked.
I think, honestly, I wouldn't vote out Leanne here because she's just an easy vote the next round.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think they're going to do that because they'll think Naomi the same thing. But I mean, what we learned in the chat is it sounds like Naomi's playing a little bit more than people are thinking.
Yeah.
But then someone said she asked Rachel to drag her, so who knows what's going on with her.
I'd love to see Leanne make Jerry. I think you just have to make it past this one, I think.
That's true. We need Leanne on the jury.
Unless he does the no, I doubt Justin.
How many people are it's 10.
10.
Yeah, so I feel like without it, it'd be a pretty small jury.
All right, Brandon, I'm going to ask that you come on. Everybody else, please come back on. Actually. for the veto ceremony. If I can have Josh and Mike, please. All right. So Brandon, this is the veto ceremony. You have the power to veto one of Mike's 2 nominations. That is Leanne or Naomi. And so I need your decision of what you'd like to do.
I have made a decision. And it's because I just like everybody so much. And I honestly was just, I like that I got to play. I think, just to be fair, I'm just going to keep it as is. I will not use the veto power. Just because I want to keep everybody happy. I mean, I know obviously Naomi and Leon probably aren't happy, but, I'm sorry, guys.
All right. So with that, the final 2 nominees are Naomi and Leanne. Those are the only 2 people that you'll be able to vote for at Tribal Council. So keep that in mind. I will give you guys a few minutes to strategize before we head to Tribal Council. So don't submit your votes yet.
Wait, Justin, if it's like Big Brother, don't you get to talk out loud?
You will, yes. You will.
Okay.
Yeah, at Tribal Council, you will definitely get to talk out loud. But I'll give you guys a few minutes to strategize privately as well if you'd like.
All right. So now we know who's officially going to be at Tribal Council.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because it's not looking the best for Leanne.
I know.
But it's definitely not impossible. But I'd have to give the odds 70-30, somewhere around there. Like a good, most likely going to be a Leanne. But
yeah, I mean, if they're both technically kind of easy votes right now, but then Leanne being the bigger threat. And even Mike said in his speech something about making a big move or something. So
yeah,
I obviously probably him as the HOH, he's going to be pushing people to vote Leanne, I would assume. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe
That's
now.
tough.
like if you are Jess and Amanda, you need Leanne to stay in this game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like those 2 people should be campaigning for Naomi to go home right now. If they realize if they're thinking about their path to the end right now, they both need that, because basically the only way a current threat at this point in the game is going to win the game, like in most simulations, I guess you could say, is you need a good amount of threats with you.
Mm-hmm.
If we've already gotten out Trey, just gotten out Matt. Like, we're on a threat cleanse at the moment. We got out Leanne after this. You're basically only looking at Amanda and Jess, and then that's it. And so it's like, then either they're next or they're just not making that much further, and they don't have any room to work with. And I feel like they really, if they can keep Leanne around, no one's going to really be thinking about how to get rid of Jess or how to get rid of Amanda. They're still going to be stuck on Leanne.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to keep that going.
Right. And I just realized 3 returning players have all been voted out tonight so far, right? With Rachel dragging Matt, and then Trey going. So yeah, for like you said, for Jess and Amanda, they're both returning players, right? And Jess was a winner. Probably makes sense to keep more threats in, but I don't know. It seems like the newbies are, playing pretty well here. So they could just continue their streak and get out some more returning players. Yeah, because once Leanne's gone, if they save Naomi for a later round, this big group is going to have to turn on each other. So I don't know.
I feel like not Naomi. Leanne is such like a good person to have for the final 9, final 8 votes.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Naomi's just going to get overlooked, and Jessica and Amanda are screwed at the final 9 or 8.
Right.
You also need to look at the scenario of just like Leanne knows her ass is on the line.
Yeah.
She's gonna want to work with people, and I feel like you can trust Leanne more than some other people in this game.
Yeah.
You know,
If if Leanne and Trey were both in the game, then yeah, absolutely. But Leanne's by herself now, and literally by herself probably. So I don't know. I'd keep that around. For 1 or 2 more, that's it.
Yeah, I agree.
That they should stick around, saying that they want to in a public format, and I'll keep it focused on the 2 of them for now. So it doesn't matter. Leanne, Naomi, does anybody want to start first? Go first.
Naomi, you can go.
All right, Naomi. So you have a minute or 2 to kind of speak your piece. Anything you want to say to the group before they vote?
I feel bad. I'm just like a little dumb tonight and have a migraine and want to try and be a good sport, but
Okay, all right.
Sorry, everybody. I don't have much more, but do what you got to do. It's been a pleasure playing with y'all.
All right, Leanne.
I think it's been really fun, and I can't tell you how much of a great and needed distraction it was to play. It was great to get to know all of you. I think that you should keep Naomi in the game. I'm just saying, she's a good player. And Amanda, you couldn't be more wrong. That was not a good thing to say. She really is a good player, Amanda. She really is. She's not that good, so keep Naomi. Unless you want me to be your good and loyal friend. I don't have an idol. Maybe.
All right.
Ask me how I found the idol.
Wait, can I just say one thing? That I think, Leanne, you meant Rachel, not Amanda, when you said.
Oh, yes, I did. I did. I absolutely meant Rachel. Thank you. I'm sorry. I did. It wasn't Amanda.
Man, you said ask her how you got the idol. How'd you get the idol?
Well, the first one I did get in tree mail. The second one I got during a challenge. Got to keep your eye on Justin and the challenges.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That might be true. That might not be true. But anyway.
Calls herself out.
All right. With that, it is time. So once again, Naomi and Leanne, you will not vote because you only can vote for each other. Mike will only vote in the event of a tie. The other 7 of you will submit a vote. Make sure it's only Naomi or Leanne, and send that to me privately as you have been. All right. If either Naomi or Leanne, if you have a hidden immunity idol, now would be the time to play it.
Did anybody want to give me or Naomi one?
Come on, Leanne, whip it out. We all know you have it.
Pockets are empty.
Darn.
All right. Then in true Big Brother fashion, I will not be reading the votes. I will just say the vote count. And by a vote of 7-0, I'm sorry, Leanne, you have been eliminated from Pandora. The tribe has spoken. Thank you for playing. And we hate to see you go. Have a great night.
Bye, you guys. Have fun.
Hi, Leanne. Thank you.
Bye.
You beat Trey.
You beat Trey.
Barely.
Rub it in.
Have fun, guys.
Good job.
All right. Great. Congratulations, Naomi. And congratulations to all of you because you have made the jury phase of the game.
Yay!
So,
wow.
So a group of you will decide on the winner at the end of this game. So congratulations. And you will be some part of the game in some way all the way through episode 4. So congratulations.
Good job, guys. Good job, everybody. Seriously.
With that, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to strategize. We will have one more immunity challenge tonight before we wrap up. So get ready for that. But you have 5 minutes or so to use the restroom, do whatever you got to do, strategize, blah, blah,
Are
blah.
we voting tonight or no? Next week? Or to be
He's not going to tell us.
I'm going to tell you
Okay.
There's going to be another drag, Josh. Come on.
Mail, Josh. Read the tree mail.
I have to pee.
Oh my goodness. This is a rough night.
Definitely.
Will, you're muted.
I just realized I was muted. I was like, oh man, no, it's totally rough. All of our favorites are being taken out. Geez.
Wow, so they're possibly ending it just at final 8, which is interesting. That's a lot of people for the final episode. 7-0.
Tribal council of 3 then, right? So if it's 9, well, no, if it's 10,
it's 2 probably.
Really?
Jury is 7.
Dang.
Wow.
Make it a jury of 8 and bring in Leanne. Man, that's a bummer.
Yeah, that is a bummer.
That's a good chunk of people who may merge, but not jury.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 people, right?
No,
3 returning
5?
players.
Let me think. We were at 13. Yeah, so that is 4.
Yeah, that's rough.
So that's our last vote for the night. So
it is.
Is it? Oh, I don't know.
No, we have a challenge.
One more challenge.
My guess is we don't have another tribal council though.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
In true Pandora fashion. let them simmer on that vote.
Right. Oh man. So yeah, this is going to be a big immunity win for the big targets.
Yeah, so where does that leave us? I'm going to pull up the graphic. And man, they just went out for the pair. You know, Trey and Leanne back to back. So that so Naomi is still alone. Marcy is now alone. Is that?
And Caleb's alone.
Caleb's alone.
Yeah, the whole top row is still in the game. And then Naomi, Mike, and Marcy in the bottom row.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah, so who goes next?
I think they're going to look right to Jess.
But
wait. But it's the Cousins Alliance.
Right. They're pretty... Yeah, they said they wanted to do Final 4.
Then
would they maybe go for Amanda?
Yeah. If they just bring in one person, they have a majority.
Who's saying they didn't already have a 5th person, you know?
Yeah, I mean...
Right.
Now's when you bring in Naomi, actually.
It's true.
Even though you just nominated her, like, no, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, definitely use her as a number. Oh, man, this is tough.
Yeah, could we be looking at a Mike and Brandon final 2?
I mean, I'm here for it.
I can see it. I could totally see it.
I honestly think, like, they're...
Winners at it?
But I think they're playing, again, I'm a little biased because I know Mike, but trying to keep that out of it. I mean, they are playing a really good game. They've been in the middle. They both didn't have votes in that first round, and they were totally fine. Mike was able to remember from the first episode. Was it the first or second where Mike threw that vote on Jess, and so he was clearly able to recover from that, which is awesome. So I think they're in really good. Yeah, I think they're in really good spots. And there's now so many people that are without either their strongest alliances or with their pair. They could easily just pick up a couple people. And
here's the thing: how do you distinguish their games at the end, though? If they're the final two,
see, that's the thing. Do you backstab at the end there?
I feel like they're so similar. I think Mike would get it for this HOH win, and maybe for that throne vote with Jess. Just like two differences.
Yeah. Brandon, I feel like, has been more outgoing just in general in the when we've seen them in tribals and stuff. But I mean that doesn't but yeah, they have a good shot. Yeah, it could be interesting. They could bring someone to the final three that they think that they could beat, and then if one of them takes out the other, that'd be huge.
Hearing distance.
And that could be that final move that gives you that last piece. Like, yep, and I voted my loved one out at the end.
Right. Matt's saying they were schmoozing everyone. You could tell they knew a lot of info, but weren't seen as big targets. Oh, there you go.
There he is.
Yeah. That would be pretty crazy.
We all know I'm Team Caleb here. So.
Great. All right, we have one more immunity challenge for tonight. It is called The Devil in the Details. Here's it's going to work. You're going to have roughly 30 seconds to look at an image. Got to have your hands up. Can't take screenshots. Can't take notes. Anything like that. You don't have to put them up right now, but you will eventually. I'm then going to take away the photo and ask you questions, or a question or multiple questions about the image that you've studied. First person to correctly answer by typing their answer publicly in the Zoom chat will has a choice. You can either take a point for yourself, or you can remove a point from somebody else. So it's up to you if you want to take a point for yourself or remove a point from somebody else. Just reminded me I have to keep score. You only get one guess, and spelling does count. So I know you're going to be typing fast, but make sure you're also typing accurately. We've had some interesting responses in the past. I will not be accepting those. They must be spelled accurately. If no one is correct, no one will get the point. First player to score 3 points wins immunity and cannot be voted out. And if no one has 3 points after all the questions are read, the player with the most votes will win. And if there's a tie, we'll also go to a tiebreaker question at that point. Any questions? So you're going to have an image, 30 seconds to study it. I'm going to take away the image and ask you questions. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Cool. I like that. Clock and timer. 30 seconds per image. If there are no questions, make sure you're typing your answers in the Zoom chat to everyone. Oops, somehow I just sent that to Emma only. Hold on. Type for answers. Sorry, and if you guys ever talk to me in the Zoom chat, I don't really ever watch it if it's not on a challenge, so sorry. Okay, so you're gonna type your answers there. Everybody ready? And your first photo starts now. A point.
All right. Next photo is up. Oh my God, why is that happening? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And your question is, how many players how many players are sitting with their legs crossed? Sitting with their legs crossed. Jess to answer 0 first is correct. None of them had their legs crossed. Congratulations, Jess. You have scored a point. Remember, it takes 3 to win. Next photo is up. I gotta make sure you have your hands up. Can't take any notes. Sorry, I haven't been watching that, but I don't think anybody's been doing that. Just make sure your hands are up and you're not taking any notes. Brandon, I just gotta be able to see your hands. Thank you. Oh, time is up. Your question is, how many people are holding the big red bucket? It's a little tricky to see, but it is 5. Caleb is correct first with 5. So Caleb, Josh, and Jess all have 1 point. Next photo is up. Hands up, please. Make sure I don't see any typing or note-taking or screenshotting. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Your first question. The man furthest to the right in the photo is wearing what color shorts? Mike is correct with blue. There were blue shorts. Mike has a point. Caleb has a point. Josh and Jess has a point. Have points. There's a second question on the same photo. How many people in the photo are wearing glasses on their face? Wearing glasses on their face. Caleb is correct with 3. 3 people wearing glasses. Caleb has 2 points. Caleb, you just need 1 more point for immunity. Next photo is up. Make sure our hands are up so I can see them. Looks good. Everyone looking good. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, your question is, how many torch flames are visible in the photo? Some people anticipated that one. Naomi was first with 7. That is correct. Naomi has a point. All right, so we've got Naomi, Josh, Jess, Mike, all with 1. Caleb with 2. Takes 3 to win. Next photo is up. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your question is, how many people in the photo are wearing a hat? The correct answer is 1. Josh got that correct. Josh is at 2 points. Josh and Caleb at 2. Jessica, Mike, Naomi, I'll have 1. Next photo is up. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. In the photo, there are 2 flags or pieces of fabric above the group. One is orange. What color is the other? Purple is correct. Naomi got that one before I even finished the question. Good job, Naomi. Naomi has 2 points. Caleb and Josh have 2 points. Jessica and Mike with 1.
Good job,
Naomi, Caleb, and Josh all just need 1 more to win. Next photo is up. Emma, just make sure your hands are where I can see them, please. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click. All right, first question. There's multiple on this one. First question is, starting from left to right, what color was the third person standing on? Josh is correct with yellow. Congratulations, Josh. That means you win immunity. Cannot be voted out at the next tribal council. All right, so we're going to skip through the rest of these then. So congratulations. Josh cannot be voted out at the next tribal council. Come on. We're going to skip that. So tribal council, as you might anticipate, will be first thing next episode. And 2 people will be eliminated because the 2 people with the most votes will be voted out. So the players that receive the top 2 numbers of votes will be voted out. So if one person, so there's what, 9 of you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If one person gets 8 votes and the other person gets 1 vote, both those people go home. Doesn't matter how many votes they get, whoever the top 2 vote getters are will be eliminated. Yes, Amanda.
Do idle votes count? Votes that were idled out?
I'm sorry?
Do votes that were idled out count? For example, me, I have 4 votes.
In the event of a tie?
No, you said the player.
No, if the second vote, if the second person who gets the second most votes per se has an idol, would they be taken out?
No other votes come into play unless there's a tie. So for this, all 9 of you are going to go vote, right? Whoever has the 2 votes at this tribal council, the top 2 votes at this tribal council will go home.
Okay, gotcha. I thought it
It has nothing to do with past votes. Those will only come into play if in the event of a tie. And no, Amanda, to answer your question though, those votes that you eliminated from an idol do not count moving forward.
What if you did do the 8-1 scenario and that person with 1 had an idol? How would that work?
So then we go to rocks with the rest of the group.
Oh no, I don't like that.
I'll double check on the production notes on that just to double check. It may be a revote. There may be a revote. Let me confirm and I'll post it in the merge chat. I want to go look at the rules because I don't know if we've actually discussed that.
Cool.
But, yes. Any other questions on that?
To be clear, so let's say somebody gets the most votes, somebody gets the second most votes, and somebody gets the third most votes. If one of the first 2 use an idol, the third person does go home.
Correct. Yes. Whoever has the 2 most votes that count in the round. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Any other questions on this? Great. So next Tuesday will be our finale. We will be crowning our winner. The winner does receive $200. The rest of you are on the jury, so you will determine who that winner is. So once again, congratulations on that. And I'll be sending out more information on next week's finale soon. But I look forward to seeing how this all finishes up. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will get clarification on what happens if there's only one person that receives valid votes. I'll make sure you guys are clear on what that is ASAP. Cool.
Hey, one question on the final winner. Is it just how many people will be 2 people or 3 people? You don't know.
You don't know.
Okay.
I would never share that information this early,
We
Marcy.
try, Justin. We try.
Good question. All right, everyone, have a good night. Get rest, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Congratulations,
Justin.
everybody.
Yeah, good job, guys. Way to make the jury. Woo!
We can all breathe. Sigh of relief. A little.
All right.
Wow.
So that concludes week 3. We just saw Josh win the challenge, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, cool. I was totally confident until I said it. I was like, wait, what if I'm wrong? Yeah. So Josh is safe, which is a clutch win because 2 people will be voted out next time, and in a style that I don't know. Have you done this style of voting out before, Justin, with 2 people going out?
We did, yeah. The last 2 seasons we've had this twist as well.
Nice.
It's actually it came from Travis. It's all Travis's fault. He gave me the idea.
I did?
Yeah, you told me about it.
Oh, when I played that Alias game. That was, yeah. And we had like 24 hours to figure that out, and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. It's usually right after the merge. And it's definitely always been the most chaotic week for sure. So we'll see how this plays a factor. All of our friends have gone. Where did they all go?
Yeah. Wait, Justin.
Once Leanne was out, everyone's like, fuck this game.
Justin, we
They
have a
canceled
question.
Yes.
Didn't you say you could steal points in that last challenge too?
I did say that, and then I didn't follow through with it. So once I forgot about it, then I just like full steam ahead with it.
I don't think anyone would have, because
No.
like people that were getting them right were the same people, and I think
I totally blanked it. I think it might have been like Caleb's second point. I was like, I haven't been asking what they want to do with these points. Like, whoops.
I mean, everyone probably would have wanted it themselves.
Yeah, and nobody corrected me, so I just kind of kept plowing ahead, and I was like, well, oh well. It happened.
Yeah. We did have an amazing first tribal council with the 3 aisle plays. I was so excited about that. We were all just floored. And then it ended up just the with the fact that the drag was so dramatic. Like, we knew it was going to be dramatic, but I don't think we were expecting that much fireworks. It was just like, it was everything we wanted and more. So
yeah, it was good. It's good. I mean, obviously, tonight was hard. I feel like we lost a lot of the bigger players, the bigger targets. I feel like some of the more subtle game players have kind of taken control of the game, which I think is really interesting. And it really, like, it hurts obviously to lose people like Matt, like Trey, like Leanne, right? Like, there's a lot of big targets kind of right in a row. And it's interesting because there are people in the game like Naomi who I feel like she just kind of wants out. Like, she's kind of toast.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know she doesn't feel very well.
Rachel sent me a screenshot of her asking to be dragged.
Yeah. So like, she did message me a little bit. She's like, sorry, like, I'm just not feeling well. And I was like, don't worry about it. Like, it's very similar to Real Survivor, right? There's some people that end up staying in the game even though they don't want to, because people don't see them as a threat. So why would they vote them out, right? So it'd be really interesting to see if in this next week she can turn it around. And So she just messaged me. So that was, she said, I mean, she said it's a really great experience and all this. She just is kind of feeling out of it. So hopefully she comes back stronger next week. And she was doing well in the challenge. I was kind of like, maybe like she lit a fire under her a little bit.
we just talked about how a lot of threats went out this round. Justin, how do you feel about Amanda and Jess's position, some of the more visible threats remaining in the game, about the fact that they are so exposed now that there isn't really anyone to hide behind now?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, so we've got 9 people left. And I definitely think there's a core group of Mike, Brandon, Jess, and Josh. They were on the last kind of switch tribes together, and they've been very vocal about kind of being a group of 4. That leaves 5 other people. Do the 5 other people know that they're kind of all the outsiders? I don't know. I think Amanda, Emma, and Caleb, because they were on Anantia together, are somewhat close. So that's 3. Did they try to pick up Marcy, who's left? Marcy and Naomi, right? And try to like do something with that. I don't know if they will or not. So it'll be interesting to see if that 4, I feel like that 4 is really kind of running the game right now. I'm a little surprised that Mike didn't try to make a bigger move. He played it a little bit safe with his HOH round. And I think it is a big move, obviously, to take out Leanne, right? That's a big move, but it was kind of an obvious move. And it's interesting. Like I love the concept of a Big Brother round, but every time it happens, I'm always kind of like disappointed that people don't take bigger shots. Like it's your opportunity to put up 2 people and get one of them out, right? Like it's your opportunity to really steer the rest of the game. And I think people always play a little bit conservatively, and probably in their shoes, I would too. Like why blow up your game too much? But I think in your season, Joe, it was Megs and Rachel that went up, right?
No, it was me and Brendan.
Oh,
2 big targets.
Right. I think Christine in season 3 played it well.
Except for the fact that it sort of backfired because I had an idol. So
but she went after you, and that was
true.
Like,
no, that would have been an amazing move if that didn't happen and she didn't know about that idol.
Right.
So, and I'm trying to remember who was it with me in HOH. It was
Rye or Dan.
I think it was Dan
or Alan, maybe.
It wasn't Alan. Alan was gone by that point.
Wait, I gotta go for a second. Sorry.
Travis is too popular. There's too many things going on.
But yeah, so that I was about to bring that up too, because Christine did try to make an amazing move by taking out her closest ally in the HOH round, but then it backfired with the idol. And even though I got out the next round, because it's like cool, as if my threat level wasn't high enough, now I've just idled myself safe and play my 3rd idol in the game, so it's just like cool, I'm here, but it's just like I don't have any more options. I'm out of idols, like so.
Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things where I think everybody wants idols, but the more you play them, the bigger target it makes you, right?
So after Leanne plays her 3rd idol, it's just like it's just like how do you
not vote her out?
So we can see on the sidelines that it's like, oh, you should have kept Leanne, but it's like if you're in the game, it's like she's impossible to ignore at that point. And on top of that, her social skills are just off the chains. Everyone loved her and everyone knew that. It's just like she could totally find a way to get to the end. So, there is a part of me that thinks that maybe, we're not giving them enough credit. But at least from my point of view, I just feel like I think taking out Leanne is the right move. I just feel like it was maybe 2 rounds too early, if that makes sense, I feel like, especially in a vote like this, where you need people to coordinate with the vote because you're not voting out just one person, you're voting out 2 people. Leanne is someone I would have trusted in that, So
it'll be really interesting because a lot of times this vote, people try to orchestrate a specific split, and so to kind of control that, right? So they try to, in this scenario, right, you want to try to gather 7 votes, right? You give one person 4 and one person 3. And then it doesn't matter what the other 2 people do. Right. So it's kind of like, historically, that's what people have tried to do. And it always kind of goes a little sideways. So it'll be interesting to see. What happens.
Did anybody go to Pandora at the beginning?
What'd you say?
Did anybody go to Pandora at the beginning of this?
No, there was no Pandora for this one. Josh has an opportunity to go to Pandora or send Jess, and then he has to pick one other person to go that's not himself or Jess to go as well.
Got it. Okay.
So we'll see what he does with that, knowing that there could be advantages or disadvantages, right? And especially in a complicated vote like this, if you send one of your allies and they lose their vote, that could be detrimental to your mix.
Well,
right.
If I'm in that position with how seeing the structure of the game, there isn't some like we're talking about this core 4 alliance, but that seems like to be about the biggest thing going on. So there's not some big majority where they can easily control this vote. This vote's going to get messy, and I feel like if you even have the chance to get something to help you in your favor, you might as well take it. Because at this point, if I lose my vote, it's whatever. It's just like it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be crazy no matter what. Everyone's gonna be vulnerable because it could go anyway. In a way, this is just as scary as the drag because like you were saying as an example, it could be 8 votes one person and then 1 vote for another person. The person who got that 1 vote is just out. Like essentially the same effect as the drag. Because that one person that got the 1 vote would have been the person who got the 8 votes. So it's just like, literally the same effect as a drag. So,
it's interesting. I'll be really curious to see how it all plays out. I personally feel right now, like if I had to pick a winner, I feel like Mike is like really in the game. And I think maybe it's just because I have so much insight because he sends so many videos and like really kind of talks through his strategy. I've only posted like 2 or 3 of his videos. He's probably sent 6 in the last week.
Nice.
He's really good about like articulating his strategy. I think I just said he should have made a bigger move with HOH. He probably played the smarter move to propel him forward in kind of keeping everybody in his group feeling safe. And I feel like if he can get through 1 or 2 more, I think he might take it. I feel like he's definitely been more of the front man and Brandon's been a little bit more in the background. It'd be so interesting to see if we can get to a point where there's a final with loved ones in it.
We were talking about that before, like if Mike and Brandon go to the end together, or would one of them cut the other at like the final 3?
Like, is their story too similar, right? I feel like for them, it's probably too similar. For Josh and Jess, I think it's very different stories, right? Like Jess is like, I came in, huge target. I got votes from the first tribal council I went to, and I still made it to the end. I played an idol. Like her idol play kind of got lost in the
it really did
because of Leanne's idol play, right? So like people kind of have already forgotten that she played an idol. And so and I think rightly so, right? I don't remember what the votes were.
She only got like 1 vote.
She got 2. So Rachel would have gone no matter what, unless so if she didn't play, it wouldn't have mattered. But I think Josh, his last time he played, he got out pre-merge. Like he's, obviously developed his game beyond what he was able to do before. And I think he's got a lot of bonds and I think he's playing well. And now he has an immunity win under his belt, which is good. He was pretty vocal during the drag round and trying to kind of protect himself, protect Jess. I think, he's kind of, he's put a little spotlight on himself. So I think those stories could be very different. I think obviously if Amanda and Emma make it to the end together, Amanda has been much more the vocal player and Emma's been a little bit more of kind of the quieter player whose camera breaks every 5 seconds. I feel so horrible for the girl. Like, I'm like,
is she using her phone? Is that why?
I don't know what she's doing. It might be, I think she's got bad Wi-Fi. It might be a phone. I don't know.
They have a funny dynamic though. I really like them.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And I love Amanda as a character, right? She's just one of those, like, she's very polarizing, which I am too, and I think is really fun in these games. She just lays it out on the line, like, right? She has no filter. She'll just say what's on her mind.
When she got called out by Trey for the idol,
was crazy.
That was amazing.
I'm surprised he didn't push that harder. I'm surprised he didn't say, like, guys, I've got at least 4 votes on Amanda. If 1 or 2 of you, we're gonna flush it at the very least.
I feel like if Matt was in there, because I'm trying not to be biased, but I feel like I could tell by watching it. It was like, oh, Amanda got caught. Like I could tell by her reaction because I've like seen her play and I've seen her under pressure before and how she reacts under that type of pressure. And I was just thinking, like, the only other person in this game who would have known that probably would have been Matt. I think Jess too, but I don't feel like Jess never really worked super closely with Amanda, where like Matt had a little bit more. So I feel like Matt would have been like double down on it with Trey in that instance if he was still around.
Sorry, my dog fucking like dug underneath the fence into the next neighbor's backyard, and so I was out there with my parents trying to get it with me.
Oh gosh.
Travis.
Really,
Travis, I forget. Did you play an idol your season?
yes, but me and Maria played it at 5.
Okay.
But I don't think either of us needed it, right?
Right. I don't remember, but I'm just wondering, like, if there's been epic idol plays that people have kind of recovered from and been able to get to the end still, right? Like, does it playing an idol put too much of a spotlight on you that you can't make it to the end? Like Chanel in season 5, right? She had like a big idol play and made it to the end, and that was part of her story. And but I just don't know.
I played one at the Big Brother round, but I don't think I needed to use it.
But you don't think did it hurt your game? Did it make you more of a threat by playing it?
I don't think so, because I think it was like Brendan was most likely going, and it was just honestly, it was I didn't even really use it to save myself per se, but it was because I knew that I would be another vote to keep him, and the vote ended up being 4-3, so it was close. But I don't think it really mattered too much. Like, I don't think anyone was like, because I didn't even tell him, and he was one of my closest allies, so it wasn't even like people were mad that I had, hid it from them or whatever. So, and that was the 3rd episode. So I think by the time we got to the next episode, there were, way bigger things that happened by then. So,
yeah. The other person I'm really curious to see where they go next is Caleb. I just I feel like he's in a very interesting spot. And he actually just sent a video, so I'm really curious to watch kind of what he thinks. Where's his head at this point? I think it's a little dangerous for him to kind of stick with the Amanda Emma pair. I'm kind of hoping he'll like branch out from that and maybe try to do something. I don't know. I think he's in a really interesting position. So yeah, I'm curious how that works.
He definitely like recovered. Well, I don't know if there was anything for him to recover from, but from Rachel being the first one out, he wasn't really targeted after that.
It's really interesting too, because Leanne made some sort of comment about how she wanted to work with Caleb, or she really wants Caleb to stay, or something like that. But Caleb didn't go that way and help work with them once Rachel was gone. Which makes sense because they all voted for Rachel, right? So like, why would
right? Right.
I'm really interested to see kind of what he does next. I feel like there's now a group of wild cards a little bit, right? So there's Marcy, Naomi, and Caleb, right? And so there's those 3. There's definitely the core 4, and then there's Amanda and Emma, right? And so it'll be interesting to see kind of how those little clusters. Like, I don't know that Caleb, Naomi, and Marcy have any connection to each other to work together. So are they going to try to attach on to some of the other groups? Be interesting.
I know you said last episode, I think it was anybody who survived the night, if their pair was voted off, they get to go to Pandora.
So yeah, that's every episode. Yeah. Okay. So Caleb will get to go. Is that going to be it? And Marcy, Caleb and Marcy.
Okay.
Which is interesting because if Josh picks either of them to go, I don't think he would, but
he can pick 2 people, or he goes himself and one other person.
So he or Jess can go, and then he has to pick one person that's not he or Jess to go.
Got it. Okay.
He's probably going
to pick Mike or Brandon. Yeah.
So I don't think it would be either of those 2. Okay. So we'll have 3 Pandora Island visitors, or 4. It'd be 4.
Did you figure out how you want to do that tribal if it's just one vote?
Yeah, I said I'm going to talk to production about the rules. I don't know what the fucking rules will be for that. So, has anybody run into that scenario and know like what typically happens?
I think the Alias game I played, it was a wheel.
It was a wheel. That's what I thought. I don't know why I thought that though.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen, but I feel like I remember the host saying, "If only one person gets votes, the rest will be on a wheel." But that game was also a year ago, and
Hannah.
I missed the end. I just got the rundown from Caleb about what happened, and I'm heartbroken.
What do you mean? Heartbroken about what?
Isn't Leanne out? Isn't
Oh,
my
yeah,
girl
yeah.
heartbreaking about what? Justin!
What? You said the
My
end.
heart was ripped
Yeah,
out of
I
my
didn't-
body with Rachel, and then my soul was ripped out of my body, Leanne, and I'm a shell of a human right now.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. Hannah, I did send her your T-shirts, and she's very excited about them.
Oh,
good.
Wait, you said you're going to send them to her? Is that what you said?
I did already. I did. I sent her the Queen Stays Queen one, and the we have a solid 4. I mean 6. I said I love that merch. I need the second shirt.
Me too. I'm gonna. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love her. Sorry that
I
I
told
got.
her she's obviously a hero for the heroes versus villain game now. Like it's just so obvious, right? Like, and Rachel might be a villain after tonight. So,
Who was
Caleb?
this Rachel? Who was this
I
Rachel?
know. This is Rachel. This is gamer Rachel.
after ripping Matt out of the game and basically telling Naomi that she doesn't have any idea what she's doing, like all in the same breath, I was like, "Oh Jesus, Rachel!" What are you doing?
So since Rachel isn't jury, I felt fine telling her like what I thought. Right? It's fine because she's. I don't know.
Yeah, as long as she doesn't say anything to Caleb.
Yeah. So
chat was
so I was
all
like, Caleb.
everything.
I was
What'd you
like,
say?
The YouTube chat was talking about it all.
Who's on the YouTube chat?
Matt and Trey.
Matt was in there.
Yeah, Matt and Trey.
Oh, they're not supposed to be watching. Oh Lord.
Look, Matt. Matt was there. They're not supposed to be watching. I just what?
Katie was on the stream with us though.
Who?
Katie.
Katie was on the stream. Yes.
What's the difference?
Because Alan is out of the game, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh,
but both.
That's true.
Marcy is in the game still, and Caleb's in the game still.
Okay, true.
So you fuckers that sent them there, I'm gonna be
I
so
didn't.
mad.
I didn't do it. Justin, I don't do anything without asking.
I don't even know who they
I
are.
told Matt that he could ask Will for the link to this, so he could watch with you guys if he wanted to join, like Katie did. Which I probably shouldn't have even done that, but.
Well, yeah. Well, I sent him the YouTube link instead of this because I assume that's what you meant. So, I don't see, but it doesn't make a difference if it's YouTube or this. It's the same
I'm
video.
gonna message all of them again anyway and tell them not to talk about it.
Real quick.
He's probably watching right now.
These
right?
are all the things we had going in tonight. Is there anything remaining, or is all these things gone away now?
So Josh still has the Blocka vote, which could be really interesting if he plays it this round. This next tribal. So Hannah, I don't know if you saw the end, but so next tribal, it's the 2 people with the most votes go. So it's another double.
Oh my gosh.
And so Josh won immunity, and he has the Blocka vote. So in a group of 9, if he blocks a vote, that takes them down to 8, and then it's at least a 4-4. Could be a 4-4 split with his group of 4 and the others if they don't vote with him. So that could be interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
This is the night that Legends went out. This was.
I know, right? It was like back to back, like all like the biggest targets. It's. I don't want to say this because I don't like it, but like it's exactly like Tony's theory of like all the hyenas like killing the lions, right? Like that's what happened.
Yeah.
Like, all the lions killed each other, and were taken out, and the hyenas have now kind of taken over the game.
Mm-hmm.
All those big threats, they probably needed to stick together. Now I think you're right. I think maybe Amanda and Jess are the most prominent next threats.
Yeah.
And
And
so
they
it's kind
weren't
of
coming into this merge. They were sitting really good coming into this merge. I think Jess had a little bit of heat, but that's only because of the idle plays that were going on. So it's now that they're gone, it's like you have a whole thing. You have a whole week to kind of just mull over like who are my targets going to be, and you can't not think of Jess after Amanda playing the idol and being as vocal as she was. Now Amanda has kind of lost her under the radar persona. It's like, meanwhile, when we're talking about the winner threats, they've still made moves in the game, and they haven't had anything that's really out of them as like a big player in this game. So they're still sitting really good despite that. And I think if Michael is smart, he should probably... Is it smarter for Michael to keep Amanda and Jess in for a little bit longer, or should he just like get them out ASAP?
I think he'll keep Jess in I think he'd keep him into 4, and then I don't know what they would do though if that 4 like do they go 2-2?
Goes to the end, then what the heck do you do?
If it's a 2-2 split, it's a fire making challenge at 4.
Is this a hot take? But is this Mike's game to lose?
Oh, absolutely. We were saying I was saying that earlier. I feel like the obvious front runner, and I don't know how much of that is because I know the most about his game because
we've heard the most that's how
he's done the most confessionals.
We just like did the people we knew the most about is the people were like, oh yeah, they've got it going
on. So I do think like Mike is in a really good position. It really is like, how is he going to navigate that end game to get him at the end with a unique enough story? Like, I don't think if he brings Brandon, I don't know. If he brings Brandon, I think he wins. So maybe he tries to do that. But I think if they get to 4, if Josh, Jess, Brandon, and Mike get to 4, whoever gets the votes goes to a fire making, which is basically a fire puzzle. And the victor comes to the final 3. So yeah, I think it could be his game to lose. I think he'd be really... If he's against Brandon, I think he wins. If he's against Jess, I think he wins. I think Josh would be his biggest competition in that 4, where things sit right now. Ooh, I just have a really giant hangnail. Gross. Anyway, that's on video forever now. Perfect.
for all the 10 viewers.
Yeah, so I'm really kind of curious. I was like, so as much like I think Naomi's great, but I was like, I would love to have Leanne on the jury. I feel like she'd be so much fun on the jury to have at the end. So that was like a little soul crushing. I was like, maybe I should make it a 9-person jury.
Pandora's box has been opened. I mean, and what a loss. Trey, Leanne, Rachel, Matt.
There.
No.
I think Jess and Amanda's smartest move would have been to keep Leanne for 1 more or 2 more votes.
Yeah.
Especially for this vote. This vote would have been clutch.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Oh, low-key, we have seen Josh just like slightly in the spotlight every vote.
Mm-hmm.
We just keep on seeing him having kind of emotional conversations with people at Tribal, where he did with Katie when she went out. Remember that situation?
Mm-hmm.
What did we see tonight with the drag? We heard him with Rachel about the drag of I think there is some social amazingness going on with Josh.
Yeah. I do think the two of Josh and Mike are probably in the best spots right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because I think in one of Mike's confessionals, he had talked about being close with Leanne. So that kind of he was the hand in her demise was very interesting. And I think he did his best to kind of make it about game and not about kind of emotional decisions. So that's interesting. Yeah, I'm really, really curious to see what happens next. I should message about Pandora just while I'm on here.
So we've got the underdog stories with Caleb and Naomi, right? Like they were kind of
and Marcy. I
underdogs going in.
I think Marcy's got an underdog story as well.
Yes.
Marcy's strategy with the cards was crazy. Where she
know,
laid out.
Like, oh, right.
I was like, how do I make her shuffle them every time? Like I was struggling with that because I was like. And I was like, of course she won it because I'm like, oh fuck, of course, like that's the person who wins it, the one that kind of did that. That was brutal.
I guess it was. Yeah, it was
a great strategy. It was a perfect strategy, but I was like, I need to like force her to shuffle them every time. She was saying that she was mixing up the ones that she looked at. So It is what it is. At the end of the day, I just had to make a call that like what she was like. Anybody else could have done that as well if they were looking at their camera and saw that that's what she was doing.
Emergent strategy.
So
Gotta love Marcy. Gotta love her.
Well, what's great is like Marcy's first season, she was taken out second vote because she was like the older woman, and she didn't really get to play the game, and she came in like wanting to play really hard. So it's nice to see her kind of towards the end game. I'm really curious to see like what she does in kind of this role where now she's on her own, and you know she was kind of utilizing Matt as a little bit of a shield, and now he's not there anymore. So
yeah. And I mean, the thing about this vote is you're going to get one person from each side going, unless an idol play. But
do you think there will still be sides next week?
It seems like there are. It seems like it's the cousins against like Caleb, Amanda, Emma. With like who does that leave? Naomi.
Marcy and Naomi. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, they're kind of just there.
They're there. So do they become like the ultimate swing votes where that group of 4 grabs those 2, right? So that makes 6. Block one of the other votes of the other 3 because Josh has the block a vote, and then they split their votes 3-3. I mean, I'm a genius, right? So I mean, that's the way to do it. If you can try to scoop up Marcy and Naomi to vote with you this round to get 2 of the other side out, right?
I mean, when Survivor New York did this, it was absolutely insane. So
they did this twist.
Yeah, 2 idol plays. I think like Katie only had like one vote, right?
I hate this twist.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. That was a crazy tribal.
Louis played an idol. The idol was hidden underneath the podium, so he got up, got it, and was like, "I'm playing this." He didn't play it for himself. He played it for Hoy. It's a good one. Yeah, I don't love this twist because it's just like it's so hard. Basically you got to hope the other side doesn't target you.
Yeah.
Because there's not much you can do other than that. Because you're gonna have your name and you're probably gonna be able to get the person you want.
I mean,
out.
I guess it benefits the people who are playing the middle and hiding that they're playing the middle.
Yeah, I think Jess and Amanda.
I think
might
that
have the hardest time here.
This twist has a lot of room for last second vote switching because you have to be very vocal about who people are voting for. This isn't something you can really keep secret because you need to know all the vote counts to realize what's going on. So you could have a lot of people who are not happy about the results and they manage to scrounge up a last second change because they only need a few votes to do that. So we could see a lot of like in the last hour, like some crazy shenanigans as the full picture is being realized, and inevitably people are going to hear about who's going to be voted out before it actually happens. And you could see some people fighting really hard to the very last second. Because this is something where every vote counts, you know. It's not like there's not going to be any throwaway votes this round, you know.
I was so shocked at the Caleb Rachel split.
Yeah,
that threw me off. And guys,
when the votes were coming in, I was like, "What is happening?" It was so weird.
It
was
hurt
all over the
hanging
place.
out with them like at dinner before they went to play the game, just like them talking through kind of their plan, and I'm just like,
It was so weird. And then there was another weird thing that happened. Yeah,
I
during
loved the Amanda vote.
During the Trey vote out. So Emma voted Caleb randomly. Josh voted Leanne randomly, and then it was 5 votes for Trey and 4 for Amanda because Trey had 2 votes because he stole Caleb's vote. But it was like those random 2 votes. Like I guess Josh maybe voted for Leanne in case Trey had another idol or something.
What?
Wait. So it was 5 votes, Trey?
Yes. I did the Survivor thing where like that 4 votes was enough, so I didn't read them anymore.
Which is okay.
No, I just thought it was a block a vote. I didn't know it was steal a vote, so I thought
that
it
was a steal a vote.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about whether she did her idol or not.
She did not. She wasted
But that was fine, Amanda. That was fine.
Yeah. That was good. You're good.
Yeah, it's better than being voted out with it.
Yeah.
And there was a risk of
she
that.
wishes she had it for this round, though.
Right. Well, she might. She might.
I wish I could have seen her face if she didn't plan on herself and then see all those votes come in.
Oh man! Why did Emma vote Caleb? That's weird.
I know, right? That was so weird. I don't know if because Emma voted Caleb, which is like supposedly one of her allies. I don't know if she was just throwing her vote or what. It was so bizarre. So that was weird. Yeah, it was a bizarre voting night.
It's a sad night on the Pandora stream. It's a very sad night.
Yeah, I mean, I am excited about next episode. I think when you think about it, right, like there's a lot of opportunity for people to come out as big players.
Yes.
And
Big
right?
players.
Next episode is where we find out the new stars in
Yeah.
Pandora. You know, the names that we haven't, like we all know about Amanda, we all know about Jess, but what about these newbies? You know, this episode we're gonna find out like who was like the best cut from the newbies, you know?
Yeah.
Who am I gonna build merch for now? Who am I gonna get merch for?
What's the newbie returnee split? So you got
Amanda, Jessica, Josh, Marcy, and then you've got
so there's more
Brandon,
newbies.
Caleb, Emma, Michael, Naomi. So it's 5-4.
Oh,
right?
good. Okay.
Ooh.
And 3 of those are completely new, right? Mike, Brandon, Naomi. So that's good. Yeah, that's good.
So could those 5 newbies team up? No, they won't.
No.
But could they? Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Let's hope that Naomi gets a fire under her next week.
Yeah, hopefully she turned it around. I mean, I think it's one of those things where, like just like the real show, you're gonna have people that don't feel well and maybe kind of aren't into it, and you make a choice: do you get rid of them or do you keep them in as a goat?
Yeah.
But hopefully, like she has a little bit of a change of heart. She's only got one more week to kind of get through this, and it'd be interesting. From what I've seen, obviously tonight wasn't a very good example, but like I'd be very curious to see like what her final pitch would be. She has not said much, right? She hasn't been able to articulate a lot just yet. I think if Mike's at the end, he's just such a good speaker. Like he's just such a good talker. Like I think it'd be really
Josh and Michael final 2.
That would be wild. Like
That'd be cool.
that would be really good. I'd be interested to see Amanda in a final 2 scenario because I feel like she'd be a little messy, but I feel like she would like go for the gold, right? Like she would be cutthroat about her endgame, right? Like her talk. It might be like a little all over the place, but I think it'd be really entertaining and really fun. And she's won games before. Like she knows how to close it out.
Has?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Who is this?
Amanda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those are. And I think I'd like to see Caleb in the end too. I think that could be interesting.
Caleb.
Let's go. I would want nothing more. Oh my gosh.
But he's got to find a way to make a move. As I don't know if you were.
But I feel like he's got a good story so far. Like his story is there. He's got the failure of Anantia. He flipped the vote off of Brendan, the first round, right? He flipped the vote off of Brendan. He had the horror story on Anantia, surviving.
He flipped the vote off of.
It was supposed to be Brendan, and then it became Leanne.
Then he made it Leanne.
Oh. Right.
And then at merge, his wife gets voted out. He gets votes also. The next vote, his vote gets stolen, and he gets a vote again. And then what happened at the next one? I don't even know. Oh well, then Big Brother. Okay, that one doesn't matter.
He'll do a good job fighting for himself if he makes it to the end.
Yeah, he's got a story. If he can make one good move in this end, he could win.
Yeah, I think he's got to find a way to like break away from Amanda and Emma though. Like he's got to stop being lumped in with the two of them.
Who saw that coming? Not me.
I loved how Emma was like, "Yeah, I think people might feel awkward talking strategy with a 16-year-old." I was like, can you imagine like David from the first episode, like messaging a 16-year-old? That might be
That is
that why he voted for her?
I don't know.
Good strategy.
Yeah. I think this is my last bout with anybody under 18. Just we got to keep it safe here on Pandora, just to be safe.
Hey, Survivor's open to 16-year-olds, so
it's true.
Oh,
Ooh.
So
you're gonna need HR soon, Justin.
yeah,
All right.
let's
can
close it out
contact
with some winner picks. Justin, you go first.
Oh boy. I think I'm just gonna stay with what's in my gut right now, which is Mike. I think Mike is playing really, really well. I think he's gonna close it out. I think I've seen him as a consistent strategist all the way through from minute one. He's been working hard, so I'm hoping it's gonna
drop the ball.
Gonna do it. So I'm gonna, obviously, last season I went in with an opinion, and then I remember talking about it with Hannah beforehand. I was like, I don't know. Like, something tells me Joe and John are gonna get to the end.
Yep.
I had it in my gut that somehow you guys are gonna make it happen, and
I was like, no.
But yeah, I think Mike has a much clearer path to the end than I think either Joe or John had last season, or just a cleaner path, right? I think Joe and John had a good path last season, but it was
That's what we said about Matt. I was all high on Matt P last season. Like, yep, this is his game. This is his game. So, my winner pick is Josh. I think Josh has enough little shields in front of him. He's got Mike as a shield. He's got Jess as a shield, and I think that people love him.
I don't want to manifest anything other than a Caleb win, so my winner pick is Caleb.
I knew you'd pick him, so.
Mine, and this isn't because I know him and I'm friends with him, but I'm definitely going with Mike. I think I was worried for him from the last episode, but I think seeing what he's been able to do this episode, and obviously I talked to him about it a little bit, so having a little bit of insight there, I think he's set up well to get to the end. So I'm hoping, I think he can do it, and I think he'd be the one to potentially vote out his loved one to make a final big move and get to the end. So I could see him potentially do it. But so we'll see.
This may come to a surprise, but I'm saying it just because I want to manifest it. I want Amanda to win.
No, you do not.
No, hear me out. First off, Joe, you just kind of stole one of my points, so thank you for that. But I feel like when I think about who would be willing to backstab their loved ones, Amanda is the first one that comes to mind. She would do that in a heartbeat. No problems there. I think that this is going to be a pretty unpredictable last season. I feel like the people who are experienced navigating crazy situations is going to do well. And just from what I've seen from Amanda, in contrast from season 3 to this season, I feel like she's a much more mature and more thought out player, while still having her very like fireworks kind of personality. She is much more calculated than she was last time. And I think that she does have a good shot at winning this. And like we mentioned earlier, she gets to final tribal council. She will make a very big case for her win. If people take it or not, depending on how she got there, that will be the question. But she will definitely die fighting to get there. And just lastly, I think that season 3 is the best season, and I think that it'd be great to have 3 season 3 winners. So
Wow.
That's
Matt?
All right.
Matt, Jess, and then Amanda. Well, just saying.
Season 1 is definitely the best, and I know Justin agrees. Season 1 is bottom.
Even I know that's not true.
Bottom. just so you okay, ready, Joe? Here's a quick rundown of how this. So my tribe of 8, we lost one person in the second vote. The 7 of us were the final 7. That's how much of a begonging it was.
Wow. That is
we just stuck together and wrote it out.
God. That's crazy. Justin, what is your favorite season so far?
Oh, that's really hard. I mean, it's got to be for me like 5 or 6 so far.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like 4 was really good too. Like the Second Chances was really good. It was such a giant cast. It was such a nightmare, but it was just really fun to like see all the different things. Although, I mean, it was great, but at the same time, one season just kind of dominated. So it was kind of somewhat of a pagonging there and kind of predictable once you got past kind of the merge and you realized that one season just kind of took over.
Season 3, the best season.
And season 1 didn't stand a chance.
Season 1 just sucked. Yeah, no, I think 5 and 6 had the most kind of dynamic gameplay, the most amount of kind of flip flopping, and although like I don't know, season 2, Sarah was such a great winner and made some really cool moves.
Oh my God, yeah, I always forget about Sarah.
I forgot about her too. Like seeing her take out Taylor St. Louis was one of like my favorite things that have ever happened on Pandora. And I love Taylor, but it was just like she made an epic move when she had to and like fought really hard to win. So yeah, I don't know, but I think 5 and 6 had huge characters. I feel like I could bring half the cast back for All Stars, either of those 2 seasons. Had the most amount of kind of dynamic gameplay. It just gets better and better every season. I think just people play harder, they play smarter, and it's not that this is anything like the real show, but I think it just the game evolves so much from season to season. So that was a long-winded answer that didn't really have a true decision.
We know the answer is not 1 though.
I mean, 1 is always going to hold a place in my heart because it was the first one.
Just like Borneo, but no one's going to tell you that Borneo is
the night. So it used to be just a weekend, and it basically so the first day, Saturday, was just pre-merge, and then Sunday was the merge. It was so unchaotic that I just like went to bed after and woke up and was like, all right, let's play. I didn't even talk to anyone that night. I was like, all right, merge vote, here we go. Like I was just so comfortable with my 7 people.
And you had a right to be.
Oh man.
What season did it switch to this format?
5.
5. Okay.
Yeah. So we used to do a weekend, and that was kind of.
I've got to peace out, guys. But
all right. Bye, Hannah.
Bye, Hannah.
I think was Second Chance in June.
Second Chances was 3 days. I know
it was in June, right?
I want to say July.
I thought it was March, April, May, and June. I thought it did like.
Was it before or after I went to see you in Boston?
I don't remember. But anyway, I basically didn't want to ask people to like give up a summer weekend. So then I switched it to this format. But I think we skipped July and August, and then we came back in September.
Yeah, you took a small break.
I think we came back in September with 5. Were you October, Joe? You were October, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so I think September and October were the 1 a week format. And I actually really like it. Like I do think it obviously is probably a little bit more of a commitment than people think. But I think the week in between allows for so much to change and for so many things to happen, and for just like it breathes some more life into the game. It gives you more time to strategize versus, just packing it all into a weekend and staying up for 24 hours.
I personally love it because there is a huge divide between a weekend mini and a full-on org, and there's just nothing in that gap. And this is the only game that I know that tries to be somewhere in the middle of those 2 formats. The only one. So
yeah, I really liked it because I came into it just thinking like you did everything on Tuesdays and then you just went about your life and then came back on Tuesday and did everything again. I had no idea it was just gonna continue on for 20 days after that. And
it kind of depends on the players, right? Like some players do that, but it's just probably the more successful players are the ones that play a little bit all week. Oh, Marcy's calling me. I've got to call him back.
Well, we'll end it here. This was great.
Yeah,
great
this was a great episode.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next week.